Hi, everybody. My name is Ryan Howard. I am the writer for Cloudspire, and I am one of the designers who worked on the new factions. So I am here to talk to you about my faction that I worked on the most, which is the Shada. So the Shada are an elemental faction. If you're a longtime Cloudspire fan, you will know that we kind of teased them at the end of the Ankar Splendor campaign back in 2020. That was an idea that we had kind of come up with during that campaign of like, oh, that'd be cool if we had like an elemental race, and we kind of talked about them for a while back then of can we do something where we're kind of combining the kind of base, the core elements, so to speak, to these kind of like other elemental creatures. And it was sort of an idea that stuck with us for a long time. We decided that we would kind of tease it at that time, and now we can finally show it to you guys. So we're really excited about that. And I think we're going to start kind of going through how the Shada work, and then we will go into one of the solo scenarios for Shada, and then at the end we can take some questions too. So if you have any questions about the Shada or about any other aspect of the Cloudspire campaign, I think we're going to do a Q&A stream next week, but I can take some questions now and happy to talk about the game. So let's kind of dive in here. Let's see here. So Shada, that's not the color they're going to be. They're not going to be white in the final version of the game, but we have kind of some white chips here for our perusal. Basically how they work is they've got 4 base units, but then they've got 6 upgraded units. So we've got wind, water, fire, and stone are there. Should I put these like over here? Is that a good place to put them if I'm showing them off? I'll put them out here. Just if they can be seen, they can be seen, I guess. So yeah, we've got wind, stone, water, and fire. So these are kind of our core 4 units. Oh, I can hold them up too. So yeah. So they've got a couple of low-cost ones. The fire and wind are 1 and 2 each, and then we've got stone is 4 and water is 5. So if you notice, if you're a longtime Cloudspire player, you'll notice that the terrain markers look a little bit different on the Shada. So this is a big part of the Shada overall, is that they kind of do terrain differently. That was kind of like one of the very first kind of elements of their inception was we have all this terrain in Cloudspire and we use it primarily to gate movement. But what if we used it in different ways? So obviously the Shada work differently in terms of like how their movement works, but they also work differently in that like when they're on certain kinds of terrain, they interact with it in unique ways, which is a thing that we used to not really do other than like something like Water Walker. It was a pretty rare thing for us to do that, and that's kind of their whole thing. So you can see it's in these little squares. We've got, for example, water's got the water in a square, wind has got grass, stone has got mountain, and fire's got forest. So them being in the squares instead of they're usually hexagons means that they can go on path or they can go on that specific kind. So normally, if you see water as a terrain allowance in like the normal hex that's over on the other side of the chip, that means it can go on anything. If you see mountain, it means it can go on anything but water, etc. There's a priority list in the back of your rulebook. This is different. It means the water cannot go on grassland, it can't go on mountain, it can't go on forest, but it can go on path and it can go on water. So it really kind of like opens up these kind of strange new pathways for your units, as well as just kind of makes things a little bit more difficult for your opponent if you're playing PvP, and can really get you to think about the board state in a different way. Also, all of these guys have kind of specific skills that have to do with the terrain they're on. So for example, water has Water Walker, which you will be familiar with as when it's on a water, hex spires cannot attack it, but it also has Submerge, which means if this unit starts its movement on a water hex, it can heal for 1 HP. Fire's got Blaze, which is once during this unit's movement while it's on a forest hex, it may deal 1 damage to an adjacent unit. Stone has got Rock Slide, which is if this unit ends its movement on a mountain hex, it may remove the bottom spire upgrade from any spires on or adjacent to the group of mountain hexes it's occupying. And Wind has got Gust, which is if this unit starts its movement on a grassland hex, it gains 1 optional extra movement this turn. So basically, this is a way for you to kind of like manipulate your movement a little bit better and kind of take advantage of the powers that are going on there. So Most Cloudspire factions have more than 4 core units, but these guys have only 4, and they've got a bunch more. They've got upgraded units. So basically, when you end your turn, kind of similar to the way the Greege upgrade, instead of or after a Shada minion's movement, it can park itself on an open source well, regardless of terrain restrictions. And then if another Shada minion ends its turn or ends its movement next to one of the source wells, it can combine with that one into an upgraded minion. So basically, each of the minions can upgrade with any of the other core minion unupgraded minions to create like a unique element. So, for example, wind could upgrade with stone to make the sandstorm element, or I know Andrew has the mud guy on there, so you can throw that up there. But like stone can upgrade or can combine with water to create the mud element, and they have their own kind of unique skill set. They also have, if you turn this guy over, we've got the steam on here, which is like the water and fire one, and that one can go on both the things that water and fire can go on. So this one can go on forest and water and path, but it still can't go on grassland or mountain. So this also kind of like changes your movement as well as other advantages. So these all have like kind of their own unique skills. So you can kind of really tailor, what you're doing from turn to turn based on like the challenges you see in front of you, whether that's in a solo scenario or like something that your opponent is bringing out or something like that. If you, with dust, that's got like flying, and it also has sandstorm, which makes it harder for spires to hit not just this guy, but also any other people, that are in range of this guy. You've got like mud, which has armored, but it also can like slow down other units, things like that. I'm not going to go through all 6 of them right now, but we'll probably see some more of them when we play the solo today. So that's kind of how the units work. The spires have a similar kind of vibe where they've got like their normal abilities that they usually interact with, and they've got their normal stats and things like that, but they also have a kind of terrain-specific ability. So if you put the water tower on water, for example, you have Refresh, which is if the spire is on a water hex, your units heal 1 HP when they move onto a hex adjacent to the spire. Stone spires have Quake. I like Quake a lot. If this spire is on a mountain hex before it's attacked during the spire's fire phase, you may remove the bottom upgrade from an opposing spire, remove the bottom HP from a landmark chip, or remove a face-down landmark from play, as long as the chip it's removing is within range. Kind of like a way to sort of use like the raise ability for the Brahmin, but like in a little bit of a different way. And then same thing, Wind Shear that has lift, which can give units within its range flying as long as it's on a grassland hex, and Pillar of Fire's got Inferno, which can increase its range basically when it's on a forest hex. So some pretty powerful stuff if you're deploying them like to like the best of your ability in terms of like splitting up, where you're putting if you're putting them on the right terrains, for matching terrains. Then that comes into play with the fortress advancements too, which I'll get into in a second. So then lastly, we have the heroes for the Shada. We've got Rhyme, my favorite guy. He's I think he'll be like a fan favorite for a lot of the longtime players in terms of like a starting hero. Because starting heroes normally are like kind of weak. And this guy is not the strongest guy in the world, but we have, I think, both the starting hero for this faction, and obviously the starting hero for Nucleus for Graft is like very unique. But then Chira, who you'll see soon, on Thursday, like the starting hero for the Keel, is also got a pretty powerful one if you can keep her alive. Rhyme has got 2 range, but he also has Hail. And what Hail is while an opposing faction unit is within range of this unit, it loses flying. If this happens because the opposing unit moved, it loses flying after its movement. So essentially, basically he can kind of turn off flying, which is really great if you're facing someone like the Heirs who are trying to wave for on Royal Talon you, or lots of other kind of ways in which like that can be really great in terms of you being able to turn off flying, have these units that you would be scared of be a little bit more targetable. Rhyme is really good, and you can upgrade his range there. You flip him over, he's got 3 range and 3 movement, so a pretty cool little hero there for the excuse me, pretty cool little hero there for the Shada. You also have Tempest. Tempest is like really good at he's got one range. He's also got lookout 3, so you can check out these different landmarks. He's got air defense. If you get him flipped over, he also has Twister, which is instead of attacking, this unit may move any revealed or unrevealed landmark chip within 3 hexes to a non-path hex adjacent to this unit. So basically, you can kind of move landmarks around, which could be really powerful. And you also have Fission, which has got basically the ability to, once you get him flipped over, has a bunch of upgrade slots and can basically use his ability to like give his upgrades to other units in play, ignoring like kind of upgrade caps and stuff. So a pretty cool guy once you can kind of get him operating. So that's kind of how those guys work. It's basically it's kind of really focused on like terrain, both on the movement and like the taking advantage of it for powers purposes. And then the fortress advancements for the Shada also really lean into that. So for example, most of the Cloudspire factions have like ways of like boosting your income, either your CP or your source. Shada have both. You can get some extra source by getting upgrades that let you gain source when you combine minions or when you defeat units that are on or adjacent to source wells. But then it also has one of my favorite advancements is that essentially when you can get extra CP equal to the number of different types of terrain that you have spires on. So if you get this and you have spires built on all 4 of like the terrain types that aren't path, you can get +4 CP, which is really powerful. But you really have to be smart about like how you're putting that stuff down. You have to really be thinking about like sometimes you might even throw a spire down that you don't even really want, or like you can spend only 3 to throw a water tower down, and it could be on a mountain, but it could be on a mountain that's like way over on the side of the map. It doesn't even really matter. You just want that extra CP. So you're kind of really thinking about like how you're deploying that stuff. You have an ability that I really like, would let you combine one of your minion groups within your fortress gate and have them kind of come out of the gate already upgraded. There's also things that let you recruit landmarks and things that let you heal your fortress gate equal to the number of different terrain types you have spires on, and some other things like that. We'll probably again look into some more of these as we go. You have like a weather absorption die, which lets you kind of control the different kind of change basically a terrain type on a given hex to one of your liking. And things like that. So again, very kind of terrain oriented and manipulating source wells oriented, because you're going to want to have these open source wells to do your unit combinations on, or to put your spires down and take advantage of the different terrain types. So those are kind of like, I would say also like the big strategies with the Shada is like getting some open source wells early, so you can either start augmenting your units or your kind of strategies via spire usage, or getting a place for your minions to upgrade, or both. If you can get both of those things going at the same time, that's great. I would say then just like really kind of, it is a lot to think about at the beginning, because you have the 4 different minion types, but then you have all these different combinations. But you can usually kind of find something in those unit combinations like, okay, well, I know this guy's got some flying stuff out, so I could probably do this. This has got air defense, this has got flying. This would be great for me now. This guy has got a bunch of spires up, so if I get my hurricane spire out, that has weak points, so I could use that in that way. So there is, I would say that they don't necessarily have like a really vulnerable point, but you have to really think about like, okay, in this situation I want to use this, in this situation I want to use this. You have a lot of different options, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of how they work. I'm thinking, Andrew, is there any questions like right now in the stream about like anything I've said so far for the Shada? Otherwise, we can dive into the solo play. And if not, that's fine. We can take this stuff at the end as well.
I just have to come closer, otherwise people will say I can't be heard.
Okay.
So one specific to the Shada so far.
Yeah.
With hail,
yes.
If you turn off flying, what happens to terrain allowance? It is unchanged? ?
Terrain allowance is irrespective of flying. So in fact, if you see, especially in some of the later releases, we've had like units like the fiery can does have flying, but it only has terrain allowance up to forest, and so the flying doesn't. Flying usually does give, usually most units that have flying do have like unlimited terrain allowance, but it is not. Those are two separate things, and so if you turn off flying on a unit, it keeps its whatever its terrain allowance is currently. That's a good question though. All right, well, if that's the only specific thing we have right now, I think we can kind of roll into the scenario. I'm going to warn you guys a little bit before we start. So a lot of this has been said on this campaign about, the best ways to play Cloudspire. A lot of people think it's like the two best ways are like playing it solo or playing it, 1v1 PvP. Now, I definitely endorse, those ways of playing. I will say though that like my as a fan of like chaos in gaming, my preferred way is playing like with larger numbers of people, PvP. I've actually like kind of homebrewed up like a 6-player game once. Not that I would recommend that, but like I love playing 3 and 4 players, so I'm really excited to do that when we're gonna do a 3-player stream in about a week. But that being said, I don't play this game a lot in solo, and I helped work on some of these solo camp scenarios, but I'm going to give a lot of credit to Logan Giannini and especially Salem Scott, who really was like kind of locked in on getting these things kind of really balanced, and they're still being balanced too. So you're going to see this thing that is a work in progress to a degree. So I might play a thing or two a little bit wrong, and especially what I might do is just not do a great job in terms of like making a stupid decision, because I am much more familiar and I would say better at playing the game in PvP. And watch, I'll say that and then I'll do really bad on Tuesday. But
it's a really long way for Ryan to say that he's going to do bad.
Well, I'm just saying. So like if you see something that I'm actually playing wrong, feel free to call it out. And I would say that if you see me crash and burn, like I would say, at the very best, I would say like consider that akin to like an experience of someone who is not like a designer working on this, as someone who'd be playing this normally. Or if if anything, I'm sure that like there are people out there who might be watching this who are much better at playing solo Cloudspire than I am. So, but just wanted to kind of give a small caveat there in terms of like if you see me get wrecked, it's not necessarily because the scenario is overcranked. It's because I might have done something dumb. But I'm gonna dive in. I'm going to apply my PvP mind for Cloudspire as best as I can to this solo scenario. So.
Right before you do that, I have one more question.
Oh, yeah.
That's Shada specific. Other questions that are not Shada specific, I'm going to hold until the end part. But do please keep sending them in. We love answering questions. Those are our nutrients, and we're hungry for questions.
Nom, 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 nom. For questions.
But here is a Shada specific one. Earthscapes seem very good for the Shada. Can they interact with the market phase in any way?
Yeah. So they actually do have like their top. So they have a gate port, like as do all of the factions. They have a gate port upgrade track. So the first two are kind of more involved with getting landmark minions, but Mindbreaker, or that's the graph one. Salem mislabeled a couple of these when they were printing it out. Thank you very much, Salem, for doing this, but I don't remember what the actual name of this ability is. But the final upgrade ability for the Shada is when you purchase an Earthscape, you may search the entire Earthscape stack and select one. And then after you do this, you remove this fortress upgrade, but you may purchase it again. So, yeah, if you want to interact with that, it's more of a second half of the game thing because you do have to get through like the other gate port abilities. But yes, you can actually search the entire Earthscape stack and select a unit. So, or select a excuse me, one of them to pick from. So yeah, they are that can be a really powerful thing. You are going to be wanting to snap that up sometimes to get spires or to get us where you want it to be.
One more that is specifically Shada.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Shada have any ways to protect their fortress /heal / increase its HP like most factions?
Yes. So they do have, I mentioned it a little bit, but I didn't say exactly what it was. They have a fortress defense upgrade that is When this improvement is purchased, immediately repair your Fortress Gate 1 for each terrain type you have a spire on. Fortress health may exceed 10. So if you got a full Fortress Gate and then you buy this when you have four Fortress, you have four different terrain types with spires on them, then you can get your Fortress up to 14, which is huge. So yeah, that's a good question. That is kind of how you kind of can repair or buff up your Fortress Gate in that way.
I'm assuming this one is specifically about Rime, the chip with 2/3 range. But
yeah.
The question specifically says chip with 2 to 3 range are intended to be with air defense.
Rime doesn't have air defense because Rime has hail, which is basically mega air defense, and like it defends against people needing to be in the air, basically. So chips, if you recall from like way back in the day, the first print of Cloudspire, part of range was having air defense innately, right? And so if you go back and look at the old game when we did the reprinting of it, all of those early units that had range now also have air defense. But then when we split them out, we realized, we don't have to always do that. We can have range be its own thing. And so some of the later units, like from like Uprising and beyond, have range but don't have air defense. Range and air defense are different. They are not the same thing. And Rime in particular does not have air defense because he doesn't need it because he can turn off flying. So there's no need to have air defense then in that case. All right, should we get into it?
Yep, I'll hold off for non-Shada questions.
Okay, excellent. All right, so right now we're still going over all these chapter names and stuff. Right now, this scenario is called Serpentine Fire. This is the first of the 4 solo scenarios for the Shada, and there's going to be kind of like a prequel bonus, one of the bonus solo scenarios. And this is kind of like the first, but this is like the first, after the prologue. This is going to be like kind of the first chapter of like the final story of Cloudspire, because it's going to go in order like Shada, and then Keel, and then Graft, and then the bonus scenarios. So this is kind of like the Shada have joined the battle, and they are now going to attack the heirs. And the heirs and the Shada are kind of like historical rivals. Like there was a generation, like a kind of a conflict, a generation before the joining war, that was called the Vaporous Raids. That was between the Shada and the heirs and the Horizon's Wrath. You can read about that a little bit if you get the hardcover Ankar's Plunder Volume 2 book. They talk about that a little bit. And so this is kind of a sort of a rematch of that in some ways. And so we're just kind of going toward the the heirs fortress. So you can see my kind of layout here. Got some couple of Rika Lookout spires here, some Minaret spires here. Fortress for the heirs is over here. I have their units set up already, and then I've got we're using the Aurora Fortress right now instead of the Shadow Fortress because we don't have neoprene of the new fortresses in it. Although you can see them on the campaign, they look really cool. Thank you very much to Jared Blanda for working on those, and for Anthony for doing like kind of the framing areas. They look really great. If you are familiar with Cloudspire solos, you know that there are 3 objectives, and if you want to get kind of like the most renown, like the most kind of like victory points for completing a scenario, you want to do all of them. So the 3 objectives are: all Regal Lookout Spires are defeated at the end of Wave 4. It's these 2 guys. All Air Spires are defeated at the end of Wave 4. So all 5 of these. And then defeat the Air Fortress Gate. If you do that one, the scenario immediately ends. This is actually something I will have to double check with Sam on, is if the intent is that if you have all the spires defeated and then you defeat the Air Fortress Gate before Wave 4, like whether you fulfill the other 2, because if you defeat they're all defeated but then you end the game at Wave 3, if that counts. I think it doesn't actually, but I'll have to check on that. I don't think I'm good enough to actually get all 3 of these done. But the scenario rules here: Earthscapes cost 0 to purchase. That's important for this one. And then Shada is going to be marking the Air's Fortress Gate. The Airs are going to be marking the Shada Fortress Gate. And then there's some other attack priority things we can get into when some of the heroes come out. The overall attack priority is opposing hero, opposing spire, opposing Fortress Gate, opposing faction minion. And then when things are leveling, they can get an attack upgrade. We also get some event die results. We can get into that later when we have to start rolling the event die, because I happen to know that in the first wave of this, you do not roll the event die. So, wave 1, Shada goes first. I get 4 source as my income, which is already there. Do you want me to have this somewhere where people can see it, or no?
Oh, it's visible there.
Okay.
One question that came up just from the setup of the board: why are there so many swamp landmarks?
That was just a random placement, I think. Actually, that was just a matter of like putting things down, and that's what happened to come up. I think. By the way, this is a good to point out. When we do our PvP stream next week, I think we'll probably try to front load a bunch of the market and landmark stuff that we've unlocked over the course of the campaign. So if you want to see some of those weirder things in action, I think we'll be seeing them then. These are all, I believe, extant landmarks though, and market upgrades right now. But yeah, nothing. It was not a specific direction. It's just like sometimes that happens. You get the luck of the draw. I've been playtesting this game PvP a lot with Salem, because that's like making a new faction is like kind of the hardest thing. One of the hardest things there is to make out of all of our products, and it only gets harder the more of them that you make, because you have to test them against more and more different things. Not only for solo, but just like in PvP, you have to make sure, okay, well, now we've had 10 of these, we have to make sure that they work against all of the other 9 of them. And Salem actually does a thing when we play, when if you accidentally populate 2 swamps on the same, on like your kind of starting Isle Hex, Salem will be like, no, and make them, switch them around, because Salem really believes in the power of having a lot of swamps start next to you. But this is just a random placement as far as I know. Salem set this up a couple days ago, so thank you, Salem. All right, so I get 4 source, which I already have. I populate 2 Earthscape options this wave, and get these 3 guys out, and then let me know if I need to put these somewhere else too, Andrew. And then
They're there.
What?
They're there.
Okay, and then I get 5 CP, and the heirs are deploying a grouped upgraded Harrier, a grouped upgraded Harbinger, and a group upgraded Harbinger. The Harbingers will get Elfin Kazis on them once they are revealed below the Harrier, is my understanding of how that works. So, yeah, we'll come to those when we get there. So let's see. Got my market phase. I got 4 source. Well, I can get one of these for free, and I probably should. I actually don't love this one because it doesn't have. It has too much path on it. Although that could work though for me, actually. Maybe I should get that one. Yeah. I will get this one for my market purchase. I am not going to deploy it right now, but I can deploy it later on. So I'll save this down here. And let's see. So I've got 4 source still. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go for my income track. So I'll spend 3 for when I defeat an opposing unit that is on or adjacent to a source well, I can gain 1 extra source. So that cost me 3. I've got 1 left over right now. All right, I don't have pegs, so I'm going to remember that I have that. I don't have pegs or writing utensils. So I will remember. Help me remember if I miss that I can get an extra source when I defeat things that are on or next to a source well. So I've got 5 here. So I need to defeat these 2 spires, and I need to defeat these 3 spires. These guys are scary to me because they have Elfin Kazis. Elfin Kazis will not attack unless they or not like fly out unless they can get a hero. I believe that is the case when I was looking at the reminding myself of how those guys work in the AI triggers. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at these are Elder Scrolls pegs. I'm gonna put an Elder Scrolls peg, and we'll just say that this one is the where I'm seeing about the source bracking. So, so I don't like that guy. but he won't attack until my hero is in range, but I don't want my hero to be trapped back here, so I gotta think about how to take him out. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my starting thing. I'm going to get a wind and a stone, which is 5. And then I start out with rhyme as well. So wind has 4 movement and costs 1 CP. It's got 1 attack, 2 HP. Stone has got 1 movement only, and it's got 5 HP, 2 range, rock slide, and it's got 2 attack, and it costs 4. So that's all my CP. All right. Well, I don't really want Rhyme to get stuck back here. Rhyme can only go on grassland on his upgraded side. On his upgraded side, he can go into forest. So I don't want him to be stuck here. So I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to probably not do a lot of unit combination in the starting one. Well, I could though. I could. That's going to take me so long though to get Rhyme out if I do that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go wind and then stone and then Rhyme. I'll take an extra turn for Rhyme to get out on the board though because he's going to wait behind stone. All right. Okay, so I am going to go first with wind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, wind can go on grassland. Stone is going to go 1 only. Rhyme's going to be like, hey, Stone, get out of here. Why are you taking so long?
Is that canonical?
Actually, do I want to do that? No, I'm going to like this. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then I'm going to go like this. Then he's going to hang out there. Yeah. Why? Yes, it is canonical. That's how Rhyme sounds. Okay. So let's see. I'm not in range of any spires right now. This guy's got range of 2 only. He's not going to go after me because he goes after heroes. So I'm going to explore here. This guy's got fair fight. Yeah, I'll do that. So 4. Okay, and then let me just look at this one. I'll flip this one up. Why not? It's a gate port. Okay, so wind is going to attack Bounty Hunter for 1. Bounty Hunter's got fair fight, so he does the same attack back. So he takes 1. Stone hits this guy for 2. Okay, then that is it for my turn. So we have next the heirs. The heirs have to make as much progress toward the target as they can, so they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's see here. How do I want to do this? I think if I can end, so this guy can move 4. So I think what I want to do is I want to avoid getting caught by the spire. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 1. All right, then still not in range of any spires. No, I don't want to put that over. Oh, look at this. Another one of these guys. All right, it's good to know, I guess. Okay, so I am going to plunk this guy, Bounty Hunter, with Rhyme. which is great. So I get 3 source plus 1 for having my ability that I got there. So I got so I have 5 total source now, and I get to upgrade this guy. I'm going to give him a range upgrade. All right, so he has nothing else to attack, and that is it for me. All right, so Harriers, go Harriers. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, Stone, you just keep doing your thing, Stone. Plunk. I am now realizing that I may have made an error in terms of like keeping where I'm just like stuck back here behind this slowpoke, but it's okay. Before I do that, I have to move the wind. All right, so if I go like that, I can get around. Harrier won't attack me. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get got though by that Minaret Spire, which is not my favorite, but. So then he'll move 1, he'll move 1. Okay, then I'm going to explore this one. I want to ruffle this over. Man, a lot of non-units in this game so far for the landmarks. Got secret passage over there. So these guys are still out of range. So he is going to plunk that. So it will be ready to be walked on by a hero later. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then this guy's gonna go here. He's gonna go here. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to move this guy again. So he can go 5 if he wants to. Because he started out on a grassland. Not that it really matters. So if I go like, what's the most survivable thing I could do here? 2. I mean, I'm within range of at least 2 guys who have, so that doesn't matter. But maybe I should have delayed him. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why not? And then okay. So let me look up. I gotta remind myself how the Spire priority is. This is the Mark's priority, but I believe that it's not the same as the Spire priority. So the Spire priority is my apologies. It's one of those things I have to remind myself of sometimes. There we go. Current players here can defeat. Current players minion can defeat. Okay. So they can't attack my hero. So I can actually manipulate this to my advantage then. So I'm going to have. You have a question for me?
Yeah, it's just going to be about movement. It seems like it's been answered in the questions here already, but if you want to answer it on camera.
Yeah.
Are you able to take adjacent movements even when that isn't the only available movement? So you could technically do 3 adjacent moves with a 4 movement unit, so long as at least one of those movements brings you closer.
Correct. You just have to. When you're playing, so AI has to move as fast as it can, basically towards you. When you're playing either PvP or solo or co-op, you just have to. Your minions just have to end 1 closer than they were before. Like they just can't. If possible, they have to make progress. But it's up to you how much progress you want them to make. And I saw some people I saw kind of commenting on like the one Nadun, however we're saying that guy's name, the new market minion stretch goal that we unlocked, I believe yesterday, that you guys unlocked yesterday, and he's got 1 movement, and like that's a really good thing for kind of slowing your movement down artificially. But you can also, with something like a four movement minion, like the wind one is, you can do things like I did, where I kind of went like 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I wanted to make most progress, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to be in range of the spire. So you can kind of manipulate that however you want. So speaking of manipulating things how I want, Spire attack priority is current player's hero it can defeat, which none of them are in range of them, but current player's minion it can defeat. So I'm going to have this guy trigger first. I'm going to have him attack this guy. So that way it means that no spires are going to be able to attack the stone this time, which is great. So we are going then to have it go roll its spire die on here. Oh, I missed. Well, I've still got 3 other guys, or 4 other guys. Jeez, I can go after it. So I assume it's going to kill it at some point. And this guy's going to go. All right, he's dead. All right, so bye-bye wind. All right. But this guy's already attacked, so that's all the unit's going to attack now. So Rhyme is going to plunk this Elfinkazi up top. So that I don't have to worry about that anymore. I get 2 for that. And then Stone is going to attack this for 1. Oh, and I could upgrade this, which I think I will do. Yeah. Yes, I will. So upgrade him. He's still got 3 health, but he now has an extra movement and he has 1 range. So that's great. Okay. All right, that's it for my turn. So the Harrier is going to go. Harrier can only go down to here, and is going to just double check how this works here, because we're gonna be getting some new guys out here in a second. I just want to just make sure I have this right. Because he's going to go away, and then okay, right. So he's going to attack me. So he's going to attack me for 2. Then I retaliate for 2. So I get I get 1. And then you're going to see also the thing that makes fun of me for, which I'm a very messy Cloudspire player. So this guy comes back out, and he's got a and do someone correct me if I'm doing this wrong, but I think I'm doing it right. He's got an Elfinkazi on him, but the movement has already happened. Glide bomb happens, in the movement step, so he cannot use his glide bomb on me now. Now I believe that this guy can attack me now. The Harbinger can attack Stone. I think is how that works. Ugh, that's not very good. That's very unpleasant, actually. I don't like that. I can't retaliate because I've already retaliated against him. Yeah, that's the end for that. So I should probably build a spire, huh? That might be a good idea. Maybe I should have done that before, but that's okay. Okay, what I'm gonna do, actually, oh no, but this is water, so this is not good. I should have done this earlier. That's okay. So I throw a water tower down there. But I think I'm gonna spend 4 to throw a stone spire here. And the reason I'm doing that instead of a water tower is because I can't really take advantage of the water tower thing right now because the stone is already kind of as far as he could go. I probably should have done that. Well, it doesn't really matter because I wouldn't have gotten attacked until now. So I'm going to do this because he's got a range upgrade on him, which means that I will be able to take out these guys. Now, normally I would not be able to do that because because these guys are flying, but because I have Rhyme here, I can. So because they're a range of Rhyme, that means that they have excuse me, that they have lost their flying ability. So let's see here. So how do I want to do this? I guess I will. Should I stay there with the rhyme is the question that I'm asking myself. Ooh, this is tough. It's tough stuff. Because the stone's probably gonna get killed. Yeah. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go like this. The stone's gotta stay there. Well, I guess the stone could. How does that work? Yeah, the stone could move, actually. That's a good point. That's an interesting idea. I could go. So the stone does not have to use the gate port though if it doesn't want to. So I can go. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 away. If I go here, let me just double check. I want to make sure I have the rules right for Riftwalk. Yep, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that is closer. Huh. That would... That's interesting. Don't hate it. So if I did that, I think I would want to move my hero first, though. So I would go 1, so that goes here, and then 2. Okay. Then I'm going to go 1 and pop over here. That's awesome, because then, haha, this is great. Okay. Then I'm out of range of the spire still, which is excellent. Okay, then the problem is that these guys are going to move, and then they're going to be out of range of rhyme, which is not ideal. But rhyme, at the very least, will be able to. See, going like this, they wouldn't be out of range of rhyme, but rhyme would be in range of the staying spire, though, which I don't like very much. But it only only hurt me for 1, though. All right, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go like this. Okay, so then the spire this spire will attack me for 1, but then rhyme is going to kill this Elfinkazi for 2, and then the stone is going to shoot at this Harbinger for 2. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now Air's turn. Air's going to go 1, 2. Now, normally they would not be able to. This is a flying guy. He would not be able to be hit by the stone spire, but he's still in range of rhyme, which means that he does not have flying. So I can attack him. Come on, baby. All right. Dead. So 2 more. Now a new Harbinger. Harbinger is not this stack hasn't attacked, so he's gonna have another Elfinkazi on him. So and then right here, and so then the Harbinger will attack this. Okay. All right. How do I want to do this? I probably should have spent some source on my first wave to unlock my air defense spires is probably what I should have done. Now that I think of it, but that's okay. We all good. right, I'm gonna tank some damage to my fortress. I think that's okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move Grime over here, and then I'm gonna move Stone here. Still out of range of these guys. I'm gonna explore. All right, gonna get my Grail Wasps. Whoop. My Grail Wasps right here. And then my Stone is going to just kill them straight up. Don't have to worry about Relentless. All right, so I get 4 for that because he was on a Source Well. Okay. I'm not doing a great job at knocking stuff off of it, which is not great, though. I don't love that about what I've done. Okay, so then they're going to be the air stern. They're going to go 1, 2. Then the Harbinger is going to attack the fortress for 2, and get knocked back 1. Then Elf Custom is going to do anything. So I'm going to get 4 source my next time. Yeah, 4 source my next time only. So I don't have to worry about like spending it down yet. So what I will do instead, I think, is so I have to move him here. That'd be so cool if he missed, if the Spire missed. So I am going to then go 1, which moves right here, 2, 3. And then I'm going to plunk the Elfinkazi here, kill him. It's like a 10 or 2, 10. And then, oh yeah, but I forgot he's gonna attack him. All right, miss, miss, miss. That'd be so awesome. Please miss. Oh, poo. Okay. All right, Stone is dead. Don't like that. Okay. Then Harbinger is gonna go again. Oh. Actually, I'm gonna retcon that I did my limited build. I'm gonna go back and say my limited build action actually was I was gonna spend 5 to add 2 range upgrades to this Spire. I'm gonna retcon that. I hope you all forgive me. So actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do one range and 1 attack. So then before he attacks, I'm going to. That's the beauty of playing a solo game is you can do that because the game's not gonna complain. Only maybe the viewers or the peanut gallery over there. All right. So before he attacks, I'm just gonna roll these 2 Spire attack dice on him and try to keep it from getting me. Ah. Okay. Well, let's see for 2 more, but then he is dead. I get 2 source. Okay.
So said, why Elfinkazi not attack fortress?
I could be wrong. I thought I was doing that right. This is an AI trigger issue. I looked this up actually before we started playing because I was trying to not have to refer to this too often, but I will double check to make sure that I am correct about this. So it's the Roost Roam ability, I believe, is the one I'm looking at. Okay, it will use any amount of the unit with Roast Room will use any amount of its movement to get adjacent to an opposing hero. This is an AI rule, to be clear. This is not like how you have to play with them if you're playing as the heirs. Otherwise, it does not move from its roost. Oh wait, are we talking about its attack? Oh, you're right. It does have an attack stat. I'm silly. So yeah, I should hit 1 more. My bad then. Well, in that case, then I forgot about that as an attack stat. So actually, in that case, then what would have happened is it would have attacked and would have done 1 more damage, but then it would have been defeated. And so then when I hit the 1 on this guy, he would have been defeated. So actually, I get So it does 1 extra damage, but then I would have killed him between these 2 things. So thank you for that question. I did play that wrong. I was not thinking about the attack stat, so my bad. But so I actually only have 7 damage. That actually worked out okay for me. But that is where I'm at. All right, apologize for that. Okay, so I have now, it's wave 2, so I have to roll the event die. Any questions while I'm doing the setup for the next one? Let's go this way.
That one's all saved for later.
Okay, great. So 1. Add 1 fortification upgrade to the top of each Regal Lookout Spire. Well, I don't care for that at all. That's what I would say. Nope. There you go. Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. Okay. So for source, my income, populate the market as normal this time. See, I get one of these. I get these. Blade wall. Back to the future. And poison. Ooh. Wow. I'm going to grab this for free. Still not going to put any of these out though. Trying to wait to deploy them until the right moment. I don't think I'm going to put any of them out anyway. All right. All right, so build phase. So yeah, heirs add a fortification to the bottom of their spire with the fewest upgrades. Good. Love it. Love it. All right. I have 7 CP. Heirs have a grouped Harrier and a Harbinger, a grouped Harrier and Harbinger, and then another Harrier. Okay. So many guys. Oops. Okay. Maybe I should put one of these out. No, but if I do that, then the Elfinkazi will kill me. Unless, yeah, that's no good. That's no good. All right. All right. Well, unless I just planted it somewhere else, that could be a good idea. All right. This is a thinky game, as you know. Because if I like that, if I put it like somewhere weird like this, is it actually good for me though? So I'm thinking about, this is what I'm thinking. If I put someone, obviously, as you may have been able to intuit, like there's some advantages to building some earthscapes over here. It basically gives you an alternate route to attack the fortress while kind of being able to avoid the gauntlet of all these spires. But the Problem is, if I do this turn, the Elf Kazi, or the heirs are going to go first, and so then the Elf Kazi will come down and kill Rhyme, which I don't want that to happen. So I could go like this, but then that's not very useful, is the problem. I can go like that. Let's see, how does that work? I need to do 3 of them to get over here, though, in a meaningful way, and I'd have to have all these different terrain types. I don't really want to do that. All right. I have not gotten great Earthscapes, I will say, that I have wanted, but that's okay. All right, so I'm not going to put those down.
It says they have an actual gameplay question.
Yeah.
Can we do that thing from the lore book where we just stuff a bunch in a ball to make it in? Thing the Shada can do.
Oh, yeah, actually it is. Yeah, that's a thing in you read about the Vaporous raids in the second Cloudspire hardcover. They talk about like basically like a bunch of Shada units kind of like banding together to make like this giant like biological weapon, basically. Yes, there is a. I don't know that I will be able to execute this game or not, but there is one of the upgrades lines. There's a thing you can do, a bioweapon, which is you may now combine a minion and an upgraded minion, or 2 different upgraded minions on a source well. And then when you do, you roll the bioweapon die and place both minions in the barracks, and you apply the effect of the die. So basically, it lets you kind of like blow up some of your units to like have these different effects. So you can remove upgrades from spires, you can deal damage to a bunch of units, or you can even, if you roll, one of the die faces deals 2 damage to the closest enemy fortress gate. So it is something you can do, but it's pretty powerful, so it's kind of gated behind some stuff. So.
And then one other one, because it directly pertains to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wait, you can do that with Earthscapes. Put them on airspaces. Is that a thing you can do?
Yes. Yes. That's a thing you can just do regularly. You can put it. You don't have to put it on the map itself. You can expand the map out. So, good question. All right. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop dawdling here and actually just do what I'm going to do here. So that's already set up. All right, so I got to spend my source. I got to do some building. So I am going to, I've got 15 source here. So I want to get my new spires out. So it's going to do that to get my natural architecture, which lets me build my wind shear and pillar of fire spires. I don't know, we'll just say that that's over here. Why not? I don't know. And then I'm going to do, spend 2 more for fusion turbines. When I combine minions, I gain source equal to the source reward of the minion with the lower reward. And then I'm going to do variegated, which is like at the start of each prep phase, I can gain 1 CP for each different terrain type I have a spire on. Now, I only have 1 terrain type with a spire on it right now. So that's what I was trying to think about, is like if it was worth putting down this forest one and putting another thing on it so I get an extra CP. Because I can build one out here, obviously, which I'm definitely going to do. So build. I'm going to spend 3 to build a wind shear here. It's got air defense and it's got lift. And it's kind of out of the way, but the nice thing about it is that like it does have lift out here. So if I move through here, then I can give my units within range flying, which is great. Helps avoid this nonsense also. Oh no! I just realized I am gonna die. This guy is gonna die because this case is within 3 of this thing, so he's gonna get got. Oh, that's really frustrating. I could have just moved him here. Well, I think I'm gonna lose this game, but that's all right. So maybe I should just throw this out now, and then get an extra CP. Yeah, I think I will do that because it doesn't matter. He's gonna get got. That's so sad. So this is just, there's some squish here, but this is correctly oriented, so he should be able to be here. All right. Okay. Well, if I do that though, okay, I'm gonna just stop screwing around and just actually do it. I apologize. I do have some analysis paralysis sometimes with some of this stuff. So I've got 3 left. So I guess I'll build another wind shear over there. My last 3. So now though, I do have, instead of 7 CP, which is what I normally get, I have 10, because I have 3 different terrain types where I have spires, which is great, especially because I'm about to not have a hero. So maybe I should get one of my other heroes out. That could be good. The problem is that Tempest is better when he can manipulate landmarks, which he doesn't have a lot of landmarks around that have things on them present. So I could do fission. Let's see what else I want to do. So maybe I should just throw my other one. If I'm already doing this one, maybe I should throw this one out as well. Let me just look here. Okay.
So you don't need to apologize. Your ramblings match their own when they're playing solo.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, so if I put this out here, check this out. If I put this out here, then this is annoying, but this isn't fitting because it does fit. There we go. So
I did just adjust it before the stream, so that's why it's all set up.
Don't worry about it.
The actual hexes of the map.
All right, so if I do this, if I put this here, this is water only, which means that any unit that has a water terrain allowance can move over it, which would allow me to kind of like get past a lot of these things. If I went like this, then mud could move over it. Like this, then steam could move over it. But if I go like this, any of those can move over. So I might as well just do this. It's more to play with too. Okay, so I'll do that. Interesting. So I got 10 to play with here. I don't have the thing that lets me combine in Fortress yet. So if I do any combinations, I have to combine outside of that. The other thing though is if I do that, then I have to go that way for anything that has a water allowance, which is interesting. Do I actually want to do that? But I can go that way too. So the water's got Water Walker, so I can't be attacked by spires. That's huge. Move 3 as well. Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay, so wind actually might be the play here, because if I do wind, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. At least for the first one, so I should get at least 1 wind up in the mix. That's big. So we're gonna go 1 wind, 1 water, and tempest. I don't know if that's actually the best way to do this though. Tempest can move on grass. think I'm going to do 1 stone, 2 wind, and a water. And we'll see. This might be a horrible, horrible mistake, but we're gonna give it the old college try here. What order do I want these fools to go in? Okay, that's what I will do. Go wind first. And then it doesn't matter really. Wind, yeah, wind. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go wind, then stone. No, wind and then water, and then stone, and then wind again. Yes. That is what I will be doing, I think. Because if I don't do that, otherwise, he's going to go in there. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Don't want to group any of them. Not doing a very good job of showing off their transformation capabilities. All right. Okay. All right, they go first. I guess it doesn't really matter, but no, it does matter. So he'll go, oops, I don't want him to hurt this spire. So he'll go like this and go 1, 2, 3. Pa-pow. I'll double check how that works. Yeah. So I rhyme. Sorry. All right, then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. And 1, 2. All right, great. 4. So he's here. He's flying currently because he is within range of the wind shear, and the wind shear is in the right spot. So water can go, let's just double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So go this way, 1, 2, 3. So if you notice, I'm counting through these water hexes because that's a weird thing. Sometimes you can accidentally get forced into going a certain way with these guys because of the terrain allowance things. So right now, if I go this way, this is 9. Go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But if I go here, 1, 2, 3, then I'll end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could go this way, and that is still 1 closer than I started out here. So I could go that way. And I think I shall go 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go 1, and then this wind is stuck back here. That's it for me. All right, these guys are coming way too fast. All right. I kind of got. I mean, I did. I'm sure I beefed it at some point, but I also think that I'm. It's interesting. I had like these 2 gate ports out here, So I would have more source now if I didn't have those. Now was able to do some cool stuff with them last time, so it's not. I don't want to complain too much. But yeah, it's just interesting. Okay. Boom, boom. Oh wait, I gotta do this in the right order. Silly me. All right, so I could go. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, what I like here, I think, is if I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm in range of this. I'm still flying. He can't get me. These guys are also out of range of him. Let's look at this too, which I might want to do because these guys are then going to be able to displace him because he's got flying. But then I can maybe get them to attack some stuff here, which would be great. Then let's see, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. If I do that, is that a good idea? 1, 2. No, I think I want to go. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. 1, plunk. All right. So this can't attack me because I am flying. This can't attack me because he's got submerge, which is, if you recall, it's got Water Walker, which is while shooting is on a water hex, spires cannot attack it. None of this, and then this has got 1, 2, 3. Can't reach him, so it's great. He can't reach me either. All right, so he's gonna explore. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he didn't get that, and then he'll get. Yeah. Yeah, I'll flip him. And then, ooh, interesting. No, I don't know. If I actually want him to double check how the skill works in the. I think it doesn't activate, but I'm checking how recruitable works in the. I got the wounded priest here. One of my favorite. So it does recruitable. Before or after this unit's movement, if it is adjacent to a landmark minion. No, that's recruiter. Recruitable is not on here right now. All right, I'll have to look at that. I think they don't. I don't think they do do the recruit thing. So, because if I recruit this guy, I did 1 damage to him. He kills me, but then I could have him at the start of my next turn, and he would move 2, but then he would get like completely smashed. Whereas if I do here, then he kills me as well, but then one of the heirs, because the heirs are going to end up 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to appear here and here. Okay. Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'll flip them both over though. So yeah, if you see the combat priest is another landmark minion that we made this game, and then you might see another market priest later in the stretch goals. We'll find out. So I'm gonna flip him over. He can't get attacked by spires, so plunk. And oh yeah, and he's going to attack this one for 1, and then he'll kill the wind. All right. Yeah. All right. Oh boy. This is tough stuff. Okay. All right, Spire, this guy's turn. All right, so Spire's fire. He's gonna fire at this guy. Put this down the wrong way. Wish I had some more source. I could upgrade that, but I don't have any source yet. All right, so hey, look at that, 2. He's so dead. Great. Now he's gonna get and Elfenkazi. Where's the Elfenkazi? Here he is. Here he is. Then he's going to attack this guy for 2. Oh yeah, that should happen before. Both these quick strikes, so these should have happened both before, which is fine. Then they're going to both retaliate against them and defeat them. Boink and boink. So we got another one of these summoners out. Ugh, this is going to be bad for me. All right. But I did get those Harriers taken care of, which is great. Okay, my turn. Unfortunately, I think the party is about to end for this water guy, but what are you gonna do? I wish I had gotten some more water here. I could have had him submerged for longer, but that's okay. All right. So, oh, this is interesting. I didn't think about this. This is great, actually. So, check this out. 1, 2. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, if I go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, so I can only go up to here. Oh, but I can go here. Oh, great. Check this out. All right. 2, 3, 4. So I'm popped over here. I am flying. Oh, he's not flying, though, because this is on forest. No! Okay. That's all right. We're all good. Okay. So I can kind of choose how I want to do this here. So he's fine. Not that I really have much I want to do with him right now. So he can't attack anything. These two can attack stuff. He can attack either. So top priority is minion it can defeat, but this cannot defeat this minion unless this one goes first. I can do these in whatever order I want. So I'm going to have, because then after it's minion can defeat, then it's minion it can damage. So it is going to, I'm going to have this guy actually attack the stone instead, which will make sure that, well, not make sure, if this guy rolls a 2 and a 2 or a 2 and a 1, then he's dead. But try to keep him alive for one more turn. Because I would love to be able to get rid of this dang attack upgrade under him. So he's going to go after him. 1. All right, come on, baby. Please don't roll a 3 or a 4 on him. Ah, no! That sucks. Ugh, frustrating. Okay. I'm gonna lose pretty badly, I think. All right. Well. All right. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. So they're flying, so that won't work. Oh, but I did kill that guy though, didn't I? With the, yeah, so I should have one, right? Yes, I should have one source. Great, one with source. All right. Okay. So he can go like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still flying. And then, let's see, how should I do this? If I go like this, then he's, I'm gonna double check. Okay, so, these are that much, 2. So I go this way. Or I can go this way. Ugh, this is tough, 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 tough. All right, I can go like this, so I can get this guy to fly. He can fly, he can fly, he can fly. All right, all right, so they can't be attacked because they're both flying, and this guy's don't. This doesn't have air defense. So he's going to. So he's going to attack this guy for the Harbinger for 2, and then he's going to attack the Harbinger for 1 and kill him. So I've got 2 source here. Now, I gotta double check to remember myself how Roost Room works. I'm just trying to figure out if someone knows the answer to them. Just double checking, like if you kill the thing that the Elfenkazi is roosting on, what happens to the Elfenkazi? I believe that it moves. Certainly, I know if you're playing this game in when you're playing this game on PvP, like that, you basically on your next turn you have to. Okay, yeah. If this unit starts a turn off on a roost, if this unit starts to turn off a roost because its roost was defeated, it will move adjacent to an opposing hero if possible. If it cannot, it will move closest to the adjacent to the closest opposing minion or spire. And then
Shannon says Elfenkazi has to either find another roost or use its skill the next turn.
Right. Right. Okay. Not actually, that works okay.
Never mind. You're talking about AI. You've got it.
Yep, I got it. Mm-hmm. All right, that's still probably the best move for me here, I think. Okay. All right, so I got 2. Then its turn. So this guy will then use its power and kill Wind, which is an acceptable sacrifice to make, because then it doesn't go after my fortress. This guy is going to move down here. Okay. Then, oh, before I do that, I'm going to spend. Yeah. I'm going to spend 3 on a limited build action to build my first limited build action for this wave to build a wind shear down here, which gives me air defense. So then I'll move him. All right, so okay. So I got 7 here. So totally unmolested, this guy's going to deal 1, and then he would kill me. He deals 7. So, all right. I think what I'm going to do. That won't give me enough though. Yeah, I'm going to attack the Elfin Kazi, I think. I don't want it to set off of the. I don't want to accidentally set off its glide bomb, I think. So, all right, dead. Okay. Then he's going to attack my Fortress 4 too. I don't like it. Then it does 1 damage back to it. Okay. All right. Okay. My turn. He's still flying. So he is going to attack this. This is great. I love having this flying guy out here. It's awesome. All right. Okay. Don't have enough overheads to group. Okay, so. Okay. Man, where's. I want some dang mountain. That's the only place where there's a mountain source out here, right? That's annoying. I can't even flip that one over right now because it would go out of his way. Okay. So now I'm gonna roll. That'd be so cool if I rolled a 2 right now. Wouldn't that be great, guys? Let's all pray for that. Oh, bummer. Okay, so does 2 more damage to me, but he is dead, and I get 4. All right. So ask Shannon if I'm doing good or bad.
You can ask Shannon.
Shannon, am I doing good or bad? All right. Plunk. This is I'm getting this knocked down. That's great. Glad about that. Okay, it's my turn again. This is still flying.
Someone said, I have been rewatching the counting of the hexes where the water minion had to move from the deployment stack. I can't seem to figure out how it was able to count less spaces through the left path. Does that make sense?
Right. So it just needs to end up 1 closer than it was. So it started out here, and it was 9 away. And if I moved here, I believe it was 8 away. Maybe I counted that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So as long as it basically was, it started out 9. If it ended up here, it was 8. So that it is 1 closer than it would have been otherwise. That's why I was able to do that. All right. So he's here now. So he's going to attack this and kill him. I get 7 stars for that because he is on a source well. Okay. Still my turn. All right. Oh, ooh. That doesn't matter though because those guys have air defense. Ugh. Nutter butters. Still. I don't know. They're fine. I'm gonna move here. attack him and kill him. I get another source, and I get a relic. I don't know whether Salem shuffled these from before, so I'm going to shuffle these before. Maybe Salem put the good one on top, I don't know. Okay. Before or after your unit's movement during the onslaught phase, you may gain control of an adjacent or ungrouped opposing minion worth 3 CP or less for the remainder of the wave. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Just thinking about if I want to do a little LB here, a little bit of a build. So I have terrain on both of those. I have spires that match that already match those terrains. I think I do still, though. I think I want to build a wind shear here. Get my guys flying for later. All right. All right, do your worst. Come on, roll bad. Hey, that's pretty bad. All right, punk. All right, now I think I'm about to bite it though, because these guys will have air defense. All right. All right, he goes. All right, he said. Okay. This is not going the best for me, but that's all right. As you can see, these can be challenging. Unless, ask if anyone is anyone in the chat being like, well, if you just done this, you'd be made in the shade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody's critiquing.
Well, that's allowed. That's okay. I'm happy to be critiqued. I'm just.
Nobody's questioning you. I don't think people know enough about the Shada to be policing how you're doing it.
Okay. Oh, you know what though? Shannon, are you still on the stream? Could I have gone after this Elfenkazi with my air defense here? That's a good question. It's too late now because it's my turn. It's the next wave, and those guys are inactive. But I should. It's a good thing for me to know in the future. All right, so.
It might be like watching, not in real time.
That's fine. I think I actually can, but I might. All right, so roll the event die. I get four income again. 3. What does 3 do? Oh, the air fortress gain recovers 1. May exceed max. Good. All right. Okay. Honestly, there's worse things right now for me. I'm not going to get all 3 of these. So, all right, then. Market phase is normal.
Shannon said, I'm not sure why you couldn't offhand.
I think you can. I think I believe Salem has done that to me, so I think I actually do have the ability to do that, which is nice. I gotta remember that. I get another one of these. Okay. Oh, another one of these. Wait a minute. This is the same one. No, it's not. I'm silly. Okay. My kingdom for a mountain. I should have taken that one over there. I
think this person a little confused still on the counting of the hexes for the water minion.
Yeah.
Am I the only one not understanding the counting of the hexes for the water minion? Can a water minion start from any water hex? Can it move freely over water hexes? What am I missing?
Water minions can move on water minions, and then any of like the water combo minions, so like hurricane, steam, and mud, can move on water. And so the rules with counting movement is that you have to end closer than you started if possible. So they started here, which is the fastest way to the fortress from here, if you are a water minion only, because if you're not a water minion, you can't go on here. So this is path for water minions, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces. That's the fastest way to get there. So I moved my guy 3 on these water spaces because he's a water minion, so he can move there. And he ended here, and now he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces. So he's 1 space closer. He ended 1 space closer than he started. So that is legal movement because he did make progress. He just didn't make progress in like a super efficient way. So that's a nice way to, you can, I would say minion, honestly, like I love this game. This is my favorite chip theory game that we make. And one of my favorite things about it is minion manipulation. You can really come up with some really clever things to do with these guys, and it's very cool and fun. So hopefully that explains it. But that's how that works.
If you're still not getting it, just let chat know, and chat can try to hit you with the answer.
I don't really want this, I don't think, unless I want to do it for combo. Well, I almost feel like I should have this just for combos, just so I can actually show people how it works, because we haven't done any of that yet, any of the unit combination. Where would I put it though? I could put it like here. That's not like great. I could put it here. I could do that. It'd be kind of funny. I could really get some supercharged stuff. Oh, that could be good, actually, thinking about. Because how long should it take for me to combo in? All right, so what have I got? I've got, so I forgot to actually put the pegs in, but I have the thing that gives me the extra CP. Where'd my pegs go? Here they are. So I only have 3 Fortress Gate health left, which is bad, very bad. But so I could spend 11 of my 13 source to heal my fortress for 3. But I say nothing ventured, nothing gained. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here. If I do that though, something like, okay, yeah. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go like this, I think. Okay, I'm going to pay, I'm not gonna put this down yet. I gotta figure this out. I'm gonna pay 8. So I have 5 left. So I've got Source Anchor, which is when a minion ends its turn on an unoccupied source well, place a health chip on it. On your next turn, remove the health chip. That unit may move as normal or skip its turn. And I also have Elemental Forge. When building my deployment stack, I can fuse 2 selected minions together as if they were both occupying a source well. So I am going to have 9 CP this upcoming turn or game or round, wave, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And so 9 plus 3, so I've got 12 to work with. So I really love to be able to do is to combine 2 of my minions inside of my fortress gate and then get 2 more of them combined outside my fortress gate. So the question is, what is the best way to do that without getting got? I could also put it over here. So what I really would like, I think, is to get camouflage. Yeah, if I get this, that would be great. If I could do camouflage and a weak point, which is almost, that would cost me 6 for a water and a wind. And then what else do I want? That's a good question. I could get 1 of each. That'd be kind of fun. So I could get. could get water and wind. And I could get fire and... Okay. Yeah. So we can get lava. Remember how lava works. I'm sorry that I'm not getting a mud, which will let Andrew put the mud guy back up on the...
I did put him on. How did you know? Are you watching?
No, I just know you. I know how much you love the mud guy.
It's gross.
All right. Yeah. Okay. This might be... I have 5 source left too. That's another thing that I gotta think about. So, okay. All right, so I'm gonna spend 3 more to get the weather absorption ability. So, at the start of each onslaught phase, roll this die and place it on a spire you control. If it is already applied to a spire, you may choose to remove it and roll it. This spire is considered to be occupying a hex with the rolled terrain type or types in addition to the one it already has. That die will stay on the spire until it is defeated. When the spire is defeated, return this die to your fortress. So, I'm just going to roll the event die because we don't have like one of those made up right now. Let's see what it does. 4. Water. Ugh, that's like the worst one. I don't want that. That's really annoying. Because I don't have any water tower guys out right now. That stinks. Oh well, that's okay. That's really frustrating. That is like literally the one number I didn't want it to roll. If I had rolled any of the other numbers, it would have been good. Oh well. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll put it here. Guys, if I had been able to roll, well, I guess if I yeah. Anyway, it's fine. 4, so I guess wouldn't have been good either. But next wave though, if I survive next wave, I can buy something that lets me change that to the side of my choice, which would be good. All right, for the sake of just going, I'm going to get 1 water, 1 fire, 1 wind, and 1 stone. I'm going to combine the water and wind together inside my barracks to hurricane. That gives me, because I combine them, I get the source reward of the lower value. So, or the source reward of the lower value, which is a 1 for that. So I get 1 source for that. So I got a hurricane. Where's hurricane? Where'd you go, hurricane? What do I have? Oh, I have too many of these. I have the wrong ones. So stone, fire. Let's go back. So I got a hurricane here. And then, so hurricane has got 4 attack, it's got camouflage, and it's got weak point. Weak point is, these are both existing skills, but instead of attacking this spire, this unit may remove the top 2 upgrades from an adjacent opposing spire. And it's also, it's got camouflage, which is units and spires must be adjacent to this unit or spire in order to attack it. Very important in this case. I probably should have gotten that earlier. I think I always kind of forget about how good that one is, and Sam has to remind me. Then I also have fire and stone, which I'm just going to tell you guys I'm going to turn this into lava. So which you'll see as I move it. It's got 6 health, 1 attack, 2. It's not as good against flying is, but it's still got some good stuff. So it's got Lahar, which is if an opposing unit without flying moves onto a hex adjacent to this unit, deal it 1 damage. And it has Eruption, which is at the end of this unit's movement, you may spend 3 source to deal 3 damage to each adjacent unit, spire, and fortress gate. Then return this minion to your barracks. So hopefully I can actually trigger its eruption and do some pretty major damage either to the fortress gate or to some of these minions. Speaking of some of these minions, so the heirs purchase Stables 1 Harrier training, which is some horrible thing I'm sure that's going to be bad for me. The health stat of all Harrier minions is permanently increased by 1. Good. Good. Good for me. All right, so we got a Harrier and Harbinger. No, sorry, we got. Oh my goodness! I'm going to. I gotta kill this fortress gate or something, otherwise I'm going to lose, which is probably what's going to happen. All right, so I got Harrier and Harbinger. So remember, Harrier minions now, because of what just happened, have 3 health instead of 2. And another Harrier Harbinger. Then I've got a Joust. And I've got Darb. So Darbs, they go for the opposing hero, then opposing spire, and then opposing fortress gate. Okay.
Question about a thing you said.
Yeah.
When you say 3 damage to spires, do you mean it actually knocks off 3 upgrades? Or is that still under the same rule? Spires only lose 1 upgrade on them?
It only loses 1 upgrade. It does 3 damage to everything, which basically means that in this case it would remove 1 upgrade, including 1 fortification upgrade. It does not remove 3 upgrades. It says 3 damage because it's just like, I don't want to say it does 3 damage to all fortress gates and units, and also you remove 1 upgrade from the bottom of the spire. Dealing 3 damage to a spire does remove 1 upgrade from it. So that is like that. All right. Okay, let's give her a try. So I'm going to put my Hurricane last. And I'm going to put my fire first and then my stone. All right. Okay, so go fire. 1, 2. Oh, look, I can end my turn on a source well. Then I can combine here because it's next to a source well. So these guys are combined here. I'm going to get 2 source because the lower source reward is that. And these guys become lava. And then I have not moved this guy yet, so he's going to go 1, 2. All right. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. Area 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Technically, it's cheating if you think about it. The game is cheating against me because you shouldn't actually be able to group these flying units like this. But just kidding. All right.
Take it up with the designers.
I know. All right. Oh, and now I should be able to air. I should have done this before, but I can air defense these guys. So I killed this guy, so I get 2 and 2. Okay. All right. So here's a question: should I do a limited build now? Be kind of interesting, I think. I hate that those guys have 3 health now. Those are going to quick strike me, so there's no point in putting an attack on there. But if I put 1 upgrade on there, then they will not be able to kill that spire, because otherwise they will be able to. No, I prefer that they didn't. Although I think they're still going to be able to, huh? No, but I could go after Darb, though. That could be good. Could be good. Alright. Or I could put another spire there next to it. That could be even better. Because I've got 2 guys coming up here who can quick strike a spire. So that means one of the, that spire is probably dying. But if I put up like, I have 9. It cost me 5 to build my pillar of fire, but then I could also, I could throw another. I could do both my limited build actions now and throw another upgrade under it, which would then keep it from getting taken out. Or I could use my other upgrade, my other one, to build another one onto that wind shear, which also could be good. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to build. Well, it doesn't matter. If this, I'm just dropping this to get attacked, then it does. I don't need to spend 5. I could just spend 3 and build a water tower there. Do I have any more water towers? I don't. So I can spend 4 at least to build a stone spire there anyway. Save a little bit of money. And then I will build, whoops, I'll spend 3 more to build another range under this. Okay, now it is my turn actually. So let's see. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I end up here, then I can go. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have to go this way then. That sucks. So I can't go that way because I'll be further away. But I still can't be attacked because I have camouflage. he's going to attack me, unfortunately, for 1. Okay. I should have gone this way. No, but I wouldn't have been able to because he's still not close enough. All right, so that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right, these guys' turn. We'll see if I did this the right way. All right. So we're going to have these 2 guys are going to attack this and kill it. They can quick strike that. So then this guy is going to attack Darb here. Yeah. Well, unless I should have it attack something else. He's going to end up here. Oops. He's end up here, so he'll get it and he'll get it. So I could have it attack that joust just on the off chance. Decisions. No, I haven't attacked Darb. Okay. All right, my turn. Okay, you go 1, 2. So he's flying, so I'm good there. And then, so he can fire on this guy. Miss. No. All right. Interesting. So I could use my weak point to take the top 2 upgrades off this guy. But that's not really that useful for me, actually, because he's got fortifications. Whereas if I was able to knock that one off, I think I get 1 more off of him, which I should be able to do. Then I could then make him so he can't attack anymore over there, which I think I would actually do. So I'm just going to hurt him normal there. All right. Okay. So, like I said, I have Lahar, which is if an opposing unit without flying moves onto a hex adjacent to this unit, deal it 1 damage. This is basically like toxic secretion, but it doesn't affect flying units. That's what it is. So, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Check how this mark works here. Spire, opposing fortress gate. Okay. so I'm going to attack this guy on here first. One. And then, oh yeah, but these guys are going to quick strike him, so boom. And so then, yeah, then I think I'm dead, but here, one. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I should go like this. So I want to go like this here. Then either of these guys can get me. I can get 6 hits on this thing. That's not going to be enough, though. Yeah. Okay. Move there, and then I'm going to go. All right, so I think I'm going to go here because then I'm still flying because I'm in range of this spire. No, yeah, because he's on lift. He's got lift. Okay. All right, so he's going to go on me. All right. Don't have to worry about that thing attacking me anymore, which is nice. So, what should this guy do? So he's flying, so he could attack Darb. Check how this works. Oh, okay, so if damage from attacking or retaliating unit would defeat this unit, instead of reduce the damage to 1, you're going to retaliate. But if you get killed by a spire, which he probably will be because that's his mark, then he just dies. All right, so I'm definitely going to attack the spire then. Okay. Now. 1 dead, or, hurt. 2, 3, 4. 1 dead, 2 dead. So he stays here. I believe I defeat him, so that way, so I get 1 for that. And then he goes here. Then Darb will attack this, but I can still. Come on, roll 1 or 2. Yes, okay. He's dead, so I get 3. Perfect. Okay, all right. This is cool. Okay, so he's gonna attack me for 2. I attack him back for 1. Oh, I forgot the Spire's Fire over here, of course. Of course. So this guy's gonna attack him first. Or, yeah. Nope, great. Good. And then this guy will attack him. All right. Dead, so 1. Okay, so we got this guy coming up here. So then he'll knock this one down, I guess. Okay, my turn. Okay, got 1, 2. He's got camouflage. Not gonna be able to get him. He's gonna get a couple of hits off on this thing. I've already used my limited builds. This guy's got to make progress. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I could end up here, and I'd still be flying. Yeah. Or, yeah, these guys both have Elfin Kazi's on them now. I probably should have done this. I probably should have left the Elfin Kazi's on there. Well, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is an interesting question. At the end of this unit's movement, I can spend 3. So I could erupt and take out that joust. I'm not making it to the fortress gate with this guy. He's got too many spires to go through. So that actually might be the best thing to do, is to basically try to stop the joust before it gets there. Yeah, I think so. I should have already done it before. Well, whatever. No, I don't know if actually I should have done it before. Okay, I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then I'm going to. Oh, you know, if I went like this, I would get got by that thing. So 1, 2, then he would go 1, 2. He would get hurt twice. It's probably not good enough. Well. Yeah, well, maybe. I was trying to think if there's a way I can salvage this guy. Because he would take out my fortress, my thing, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go 1, 2. All right, so it's nothing can fire at me. Okay, so then there's their turn. All right, 1, 2. I mean, I'm dead now, but 1, 2, 1, boink, 2, boink. All right, so quick strike. This is dead. This has got to go after this, otherwise I'm dead right now. Yeah. All right, so 7, and then yeah. I mean, I'm toast, I think, because he hits me for 1. So yeah. So this would have to hit him for 2 to avoid that from happening. Okay, so here I'll go here, and then I'll go. This can go forest, and So I have to make some progress here. So I'll go 1. I go 1, 2. Oh, I forgot. This has got to attack him. Hey, look at that. He's dead. So 2. All right, but I'll still do that. All right. Oh yeah. So then he can attack him with 2 dice. Okay. Nothing can attack him, so he's gonna hit this for 2, and then. All right, this guy's turn. All right, I think this is where I die here. 1, 2. All right, so let's just game this out here. So this will attack the Elfin Kazi. Dead. Then does this guy have 1 extra health? I think he should actually, right? No, you shouldn't because you got retaliated against. That's right. Then this. So if I roll a 2, I'm still alive. But if I don't roll a 2, I'm dead. Well, I rolled a 0. All right. So he takes me down. I am dead. GG. So, but yeah, that is the first one of these. Hope that you enjoyed watching me just strew trips all over the board. That is how I play. I'm constantly mocked by that by my fellow developers and designers here. But yeah, this is a fun one. It's like I said, I'm not super accustomed to playing a lot of solo, but I have played this one before, and I usually get about this far, but like it is beatable, and yeah, it's just these solos are really designed to make you feel really good about yourself when you can complete them, because they are pretty difficult. And I have been thinking about things I could have done differently as I go, and just maybe different unit combinations I should have put up, or things like that. But yeah, anyway, so that's how their first solo scenario plays. So will you have better luck than me when you play? We'll see. So that's kind of like my overview of the Shada. I hope they look cool. I'm really proud of them, happy with them. It's been something, we've had this idea since the end of the last campaign 4 years ago, so it's been a cool thing to see them finally kind of come to fruition. So are there any questions that I can be answering for people? All right. The unseen Andrew is going to approach the mic now and ask some, or he's going to be seen. Whoa! He's been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
When there was only 1 set of footsteps on the Ankar, that's when you were reading the questions.
Yep. I was carrying you along. We are so close to Lacheese.
Oh, really?
Something
Awesome.
to say about Lacheese?
Lacheese is cool. Lacheese has a really high source reward, but has armored and entropy, so you have to kind of be clever about actually taking it from her. So she's a fun little hero.
Okay, so I have compiled some of these questions here.
Okay.
Bounty promo pack. We know it contains the Shada relic to replace the current one. What else is in this pack?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe we haven't talked about this in the actual updates or anything. So the bonus bounty has the replacement relic for the Shada, but it also has a new relic for the Keel and a new relic for the Graft, basically allowing it so that all 10 of the factions have their own relic. I believe the Keel one, without looking on the spreadsheet, the Keel one gives a free promotion to a Keel unit, and then I believe the Graft one increases or gives some motility to Nucleus.
Cool. Did I miss the end of the match? You did. It ended suddenly.
Yeah. I don't know if I could see it was ending soon, but
yeah, I think I put a comment in about 40 minutes ago that you were about to be defeated.
Yeah.
You just took a long time to do it.
Yeah.
What cheese is some kind of French cheese whiz product?
I mean, I like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we've ever actually like acknowledged like the naming convention of a lot of the units and stuff on stream.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the units in Cloudspire are named after or kind of like jumbled words of people's names, and even some of the ones that I won't say now are jumbled names. Well, people have figured out most of them, but there are some that some people haven't figured out because these are all people who I know, and some of those people have like non-standard name spellings, or I'm using their last name or things like that, and
but Darb is unchanged.
Yeah,
right? That's your friend Darb.
Yeah, my friend Darb. But Chelsea Lem Thompson, who is one of our graphic designers, she's doing the majority of the graphic design work, the new graphic design work for Harbinger, and she's doing a great job. She kind of, after we had the idea for like the dark side keel chip design, she cooked that up quick, and she's been doing like the kind of the early interface stuff for 20 Strong, so she's doing a great job. And so we're like, oh, that'd be kind of a fun one, but her name is spelled Chelzee,
Mm-hmm.
so it is a jumble of that of her name. But but we also just thought Le Cheese was a funny name.
Yeah, I thought it was a cheese unit.
Yeah,
it's cheesy because it's hard to, like when you cheese a boss.
Yeah, yeah.
With more large hex tiles available, will there be official ways to expand the map for over 3 players?
No. Well, over 3 players. Yeah, I mean, you can play with 4 people now.
That's my biggest.
Officially, yes, there has been one for the last 6 years or however long Cloudspire has been a thing.
Yeah, 4 is always a thing.
But I mean, you can play with 5 or 6.
Get 2 base.
I would say you're not.
8.
I would say it's not really recommended for like I've played it and it's like kind of fun to play in like a silly way, but it's not actually really great in terms of like the amount of time you're taking, and like just like if you're playing with 6 people, you're all right next to each other, so like you can kind of get like killed by spires as you kind of come out the gate and stuff. So no, but like we like it at 4, and it just this help is giving people more variety. I really wanted to add some more big isle hexes, both for like more variety in solo play and especially for more variety in PvP play.
Well, with the grafts not needing to attach directly and the uprising not needing to attach directly, couldn't you do a
8, I guess? Yeah.
Just every one of them?
Yeah.
I like it. So there's 12 minion units to each faction with 4 basic elemental units and 6 combinations. How are the chips actually going to be handled? Is there just one of each combination on the flip side of chips, or are they separate chips? And if so, how will their promoted sides look?
Good question. I mean, they'll look like most units' promoted sides. Like the keel, we are doing that with the dark side thing because it's just like we thought it would be cool, and like the keel like promote very in a unique way, and like you really don't want to run into their promoted sides. It's like, oh, this is a good like visual indicator. Whereas like you'll see the visual indicator for the Shada is that the units actually look different. When you again, you put mud back up there on the screen if you want to, but like the mud unit is going to look a lot different than the water unit or the stone unit. So you'll be able to tell them that way. The way that we're organizing them is that there are going to be there are 3 of each of the 4 basic minions, because technically you could have if you use the upgrade that allows you to get extra source from getting multiple different Spire terrain types out, you could end up with in wave 4 having 15 CP, which would allow you to get 3 water minions in the same wave. I haven't seen anyone do that yet, but you could do it. Then there's going to be 2 of each promoted one on the backs. So basically, and the way we have it kind of organized is that 2 of the waters have steam on them, and then the other one has hurricane, and then 2 of the winds have, where's the wind? Where did the wind ones go? It is hard to tell where the things are when you don't have the images on them. Yeah, so 2 of the winds will have.
Your mouth is getting dangerously close to that mud.
Let's see, where's the other? Here it is. So then 2 of the winds will have dust on them, and then the other one will have hurricane. So kind of like we're picking, for each of the common ones, like 2 of them will have the same one on there, and then the other one, then like one of them will have another one that is shared, so with like the odd one out of another one, if that makes sense. It's hard to describe, but it does make sense how we work. Basically, like out of the 3 basic chips, 2 of them will be identical to each other, and the other one will have another type on it, which will be shared with one of the other basic ones.
Do you want to give Mud a kiss on the head? He did such a good job. You kept almost doing it.
Okay, like this.
It's so delayed. So.
All right.
Let's see. It's about to happen. Oh, way
right.
Too high.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to try again.
Feel free to keep sending questions in, by the way. We are answering them, but we can take more.
Yeah.
What was the design idea behind making stone minions ranged?
Well, couple things. One, I wanted to have a minion that was ranged, and it seemed like a good one. And 2, I kind of like, I picture these guys. Now, obviously, they do look at it. A lot of them have ended up looking like pretty corporeal, but like, I do kind of like imagine these guys as like, these are sort of like collections of whatever element it is. And so like they can kind of like, in addition to being made of stone, they can kind of manipulate stone. And so I'm kind of like, basically in my thought process is that they can kind of like shoot rock, like basically at
so
opposing units. So
idea being that they're like a pile of boulder guys.
Kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. This is an add-on to the last question, or a clarification, I guess. So there will be 2 essentially of all the 6 basic combinations as promoted sides then?
Correct, yes.
Are you able to take adjacent movements, even when that isn't? I think I covered that.
Yeah.
Is the base game complete to have fun, or playing this may have feeling of incomplete game, which needs expansions to be complete? We're going to be a biased answer, but this.
I think it's very complete. Like it's so. Especially if you're playing PvP. I mean, I think if you're playing solo too, I think people. It's funny. We have this conversation sometimes in the office. I love legacy games, right? I don't think we'll ever do a legacy game here.
You've played more legacy games than I think any person I've ever known.
I love legacy games, right? And one reason we wouldn't play legacy. I mean, first of all, it's like, our components and stuff don't really justify that. But like, we could obviously make something with like more paper stuff and make it legacy, right? If we wanted to, we could figure out some ways to make it nice.
Well, cheese is unlocked.
One reason why we don't, I think, is because we really talk about like, value and replayability and stuff like that. And I think that there is, for some people, including some of our execs, like there is this thought process of like, well, we want it to be really replayable, and like I don't like the idea of a game you can only play like 12 times. And it's funny because how many games do you have that you buy that are on your shelf that you've played 12 times? I bet you there's a lot of them that you haven't played that often right? And so I think that like if you buy Cloudspire and you just want to play it solo, you can play it 16. I mean, obviously you can replay these too, and you're not always going to win, and you want to play them until you can beat them. But like, even if you're like an amazing Cloudspire player, you're going to play the game 16 times and play that, and those are going to be long games. You just saw me playing, and so like that is going to take a lot of your time.
Yeah, it took you that long to lose.
And so I think even at that point, it's a really good value, and you'll get a lot out of the game. And then if you're playing it PvP as well, like you can play that as much as you want, and like there's always going to be different things that are going to be happening. I love the base game stuff and the base game factions and stuff like that. So I think you can definitely get in there, and if you like it and you really want like more variety, like there's plenty more to be found there. But I do not think you have to have anything. Honestly, I think for all of our games, like they play really well out the box, and then we try to make that stuff. We try to make all of the expansions feel meaningful and feel like you are getting more for your dollar, and things that can make the game like deeper and richer. Like I think for the Hoplo expansion stuff, like Hoplo is really fun, but the new expansion stuff that's coming soon is. And please don't ask me questions about that because we're going to do an update about it. I actually don't know exactly where everything is. So, but like that stuff is like really makes the game, like a lot of the things people had questions about, or if we could this, that these are all making those things. Those are all answering those things. We try to address those things in our expansions. For this stuff, like all of the factions here are taking like an interesting approach or a new take on the game that is kind of making that like giving you more kind of tactical options, but the core box is still really complete and feels really good.
I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to get up and grab a stool or something because my knees are dying.
All right.
But also I'm going to grab a hardcover book for the next question after this one.
Okay.
I could be missing it somewhere, but do the Harbinger's upgrade chips completely work with old solo/co-op scenarios? This is likely in regards to the Spire Hero upgrade chips, but could also be in regards to stretch goal chips.
So, I would say that we have not gone back and tested what happens in every permutation of like if you play with the new upgrade chips in the old solo scenarios, because there's so many different like variables there. I'm sure I think like one of the reasons why we limited the supply of them is that we were trying to basically make it so that we didn't want to really affect the overall like distribution of the upgrade chips that much, and also we wanted to just make sure that if there was some sort of weird thing you could do to cheese one of the old scenarios, that would be somewhat mitigated. But that being said, like I mean, having used these, like they aren't like they're not like so. There are cool different strategic options, but it's not like they're so like swingy or game breaky. I think that there's going to be a lot of issues there. So if you're really worried about the upgrade chips, you don't have to put them on your Spires or your Heroes. But like obviously they're not going to come into play in the AI sense, because like the AI instructs you what kind of upgrades to put on your Heroes and Spires, so that will not be an issue there. But no, I would say that like that stuff should work. As with anything, like the way that our games, most of our games work, like it's impossible to actually test every single combination of everything that could ever happen. But I would say that we believe it to be fine. We have like tested this stuff like a lot. It's just like it's impossible to test it every single combination of like upgrade and hero and all those things.
Gotcha. So that was still the last question I gave you?
Yeah.
Cool. Is it possible to show off a little of one of the hardcover books? I'm on the fence. Here's the hardcover book.
Sure, yeah. So here's
you wrote it.
Yeah, so here's the Cloudspire Volume 2 hardcover book. So I can't do a full like comparison like 1-to-1 because this is Volume 2 and I have like the Volume 1 solos here. But just to kind of give you an idea. So this is like the solo scenarios that come in the base games. This has got the first 4 factions scenarios in there. So gameplay content, it is the same for Volume 1. I'll get to Volume 2 in a second. So you've got like each solo scenario and co-op scenario and stuff. They look like this. This is like the first page. This like tells you how you set up the map. And you've got like the second 2 pages. This is kind of like the rules for this one, and then this tells you like what happens from wave to wave, right? There's also, before that though, there is this little page that just says, here's like a few paragraphs just kind of setting up kind of what's happening, right? It's like a few hundred words. Then compared to that to the hardcover, like
display it to this camera possibly.
Wait, this one here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here, I'll show again. So this is like, this stuff is identical between the hardcover and like what you would get in like a soft cover or like the base box. So you've got your first page has like your setup, then you've got like your rules for this specific scenario, and you've got your wave, what you do in the waves. But before that, though, you have this little kind of few hundred words setting up. You have these few hundred words kind of setting up how like what's happening in the story, basically, because all of the solo scenarios in particular are sequential and like have to kind of like explain like the overall like what's going on in like the joining war, which is like the Cloudspire overall conflict, right? So you compare that to the hardcover. The hardcover has all of the same scenarios and all of the same like AI triggers and stuff like that, but it has more art. It's got stuff like this. And it's got like before each like section, it's got like these things that Anthony draws specifically for the encounters, like these cool like double page spread things. And it has more story. So it's got like, where normally like if you're just reading like the initial like the things in like the soft covers or whatever, you'll see like there's probably like maybe half a page of like text. In this one, it's like it's about 3 pages of 2 or 3 pages of text, depending on which chapter, that is kind of really getting into like the specifics of what's going on. These follow like these different characters. They go on their own kind of like journeys. You're kind of seeing more about the kind of political ramifications of like the war and stuff like that. So it's just kind of it's basically just a more art and lore thing. And so if you like that kind of thing, then it's for you. And if you don't like that kind of thing, it's not for you. And that's all. That's up to you. I worked on those stories and stuff, so I'm really happy with them. They're like some of my favorite stuff that we've made in terms of like lore and flavor stuff in our games. But it's not for everybody, and that's fine. I actually did want to know. I'm glad that someone asked about this. So because I've seen a few questions about this, so just want to clarify. So the volume 1 hardcover has has stuff for the first 5 factions in it. There's no additional scenarios outside of what you would find in the base box and the Grieche. The volume 2 hardcover has the stuff for the Horizon's Wrath and the Uprising factions, and it also has 6 bonus scenarios. It's got 2 bonus co-ops, and it's got 4 bonus solos. I think it also has some skirmishes, which are like these 1v1 scenarios. You can find the new gameplay the bonus gameplay content in the Ankar's Plunder soft cover. And then you could find the faction bonus, the faction scenarios in like the individual faction expansions. So there's nothing that's like exclusive to this. But you just would, if you want the bonuses that are in here, you need to have the Ankar's Plunder soft cover. But a word of just note, the Ankar's Plunder stuff that either in here or in the soft cover does require that you also have the Portal Seekers expansion. We wanted to like expand the kind of some of the units and the neoprene we could use to make those and really have it feel expansive. So if you want to play those properly, you should also have the Ankar's Plunder stuff. Now we also did note that there were some people who didn't love that because they didn't quite understand it or just didn't want to have to buy this thing that they weren't going to otherwise use if they didn't like using PvP. So what we did with Harbinger is Harbinger is basically going to have like the bonus scenario soft cover inside of the Harbinger box so that you're buying a thing that does everything you need to use the thing, other than the factions, of course. You don't have to buy another separate thing. So the third hardcover is going to have the 8 bonus solo scenarios in it. It'll have the co-ops too, but there's no bonus co-ops. And then it'll have like it'll have all of the scenarios from the faction books in there as well. So it'll have, and I think we'll probably just do like the big expanded story for like the solos. So it'll basically have like 20 solo scenarios in there, which will have like lore and art and stuff, and then it'll have the co-ops in there too. Although those probably won't have like a lot of extra writing with them, and it'll probably these have some other things in them too. Like they have like information about like if you want to know more about the Grige or more about the different factions or like how they work, they've got stuff like that in them too. So some cool, but it is primarily a lore and art thing. It is not a thing that really has there's no like bonus content in there that you couldn't find somewhere else, essentially. So from a gameplay standpoint.
Cool. Will the stretch goal barracks have the same design as the current one, simply sturdier material, opaque?
In terms of like the color, I think it's still going to be transparent or translucent. It is going to have the same design. Molds are expensive to make, and
It's gonna be sturdier
so
like these dice.
it'll be like this dice material. Which you can see like is thicker than like and a little bit more sturdy than the barracks stuff. We're not doing a new mold at this time. But I will say, like, in relation to like the stretch goals, we do, if we haven't like acknowledged or like aren't doing something that you asked for a stretch goal, like, please keep in mind that we have seen it probably, and you keep on asking about it, and it's great, and we like your suggestions, and we've actually taken some of them, and there's still stuff we're considering, but also like we are really thinking about these things, and like sometimes like the reason why we're not doing a certain thing is because like it is a lot more expensive maybe than people realize, or because it is a lot more development time than people realize. I know people are asking for like more solo scenarios, and like those are great, and we like doing them, but like those take a lot more time. And if we were just suddenly going to like unlock 5 more solo scenarios, like the game would be significantly later to you than it would otherwise. And so keep in mind, like that's fine to ask, and we like when people ask stuff, but like sometimes the reason why we're not doing it is we do have like a practical concern that we are thinking about from like our perspective as like for as people who have to actually manufacture and like produce the stuff, not manufacture, but like get it to the point where it can be manufactured. But right now barracks is the same but with thicker plastic. But if you all I will say is like if you're interested in like more ways to interface with the game in better ways, just I would say stay tuned. Keep seeing if there's anyone you can tell about the project, get some more stretch goals unlocked, because we are definitely thinking about like further quality of life improvements in addition to like the chips we've been unlocking and stuff. But I don't really want to say more than that because we're still kind of working on feasibility of some things, and we just got to see how much money we raise too. So
keep unlocking stretch goals, and you never know what'll happen.
That's right.
This one I already said possibly not because just of stream length. Can you go through the minions, fortress advancements, promotions, and heroes one by one?
Well, I don't know. Should I?
I mean, my answer to that question is if you can do it in like less than 5 minutes.
All right, I can try. Let's see. For fortress advancements here. It's underneath
less than 3 minutes.
Okay. So fortress advancements that I didn't go through. In the gate port, I'm going to do like the kind of the summary rather than actually read these. I can discard a minion from the market by spending its source cost, and then recruit a minion from my barracks with equal amount of CP. I can also recruit landmark minions by paying their source reward cost. I can also, as I said earlier, I can pick one Earthscape out of any in the stack, which actually might have been good for me in this particular one that I just lost.
You did keep complaining about
yeah, I did.
Right,
yes, that's right. I did use all of the income ones in this one, where you can get extra source by combining minions, you can get extra source by defeating things on source fields, you can get extra CP from defeating spires or by having spires in different terrain types. I talked about the one that lets me repair my Fortress Gate 1 for each terrain type I have a spire on. I also have there's also a thing in the fortress defense kind of area, which is when your fortress retaliates, you can spend source equal to the CP cost of a minion in my barracks, and then your fortress's retaliation becomes that minion's attack stat. There's also a couple things that basically allow you to buff your minions or spires based on like those things being in proximity to each other. So like you can use your minions to like become spire upgrades, or you use your if it's like if like a wind spire is next to like a wind minion, it can deal additional attack damage. I said it a little wrong, but it's basically like that. You have things like the weather absorption dice. I talked about that. There's another upgrade you can do to get that to set to the turn the side that you want. You can get pillar of fire spires air defense. I did the source anchor where you can like end your turn on a source well and then place a hell chip on it to have it skip its turn. You can also combine 2 minions within your source your spire. And then the thing that someone asked about during the stream, which is the bio weapon, which lets you combine minions with upgraded minions and like basically explode them with dice rolls. In terms of the actual minions themselves, I'm not going to go over the ones we talked about too much on the stream because I want to, for speed's sake. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have used unrefusable offer. That's what I'm. Oh well. Anyway.
Well, let's go back.
Yeah, right. So. I think I went over kind of all of the main. I guess I didn't do fire. I did do fire because fire is like to use the blaze ability, which lets you deal damage to someone when you're passing through a wood or a forest section. So we saw lava and we saw hurricane. So for the other 4 of the upgraded minions, you've got.
I know about mud.
You got mud, which has got armored, which means it just takes less damage, and then it's got mire, which is that's right. If an opponent's unit starts its turn adjacent to this unit, its attack is reduced by 1 this turn. You also have sandstorm, which is maybe my favorite, dust, which is my favorite. It's flying, and it has sandstorm, which is during the spire's fire step. If an opposing spire would be able to target this unit, all 2s that it rolls will be changed to blanks, regardless of its target. So basically, it's kind of like your sandstorm, your dust is kind of like making it hard to see, so they're less accurate. And then there is steam, which has got 2 range and air defense, but it's a 3/3/3, and for its stats, just kind of a nice utility guy. And then Ash. Ash is one of my favorites actually. Ash has got evasive, which is when this unit is attacked by a unit with range, reduces damage dealt to 1, and it's got disperse, which is at the end of this unit's movement, it may move up to 2 hexes in any direction, as long as this new hex is a valid hex and adjacent to an opposing faction unit. This unit will then deal 2 damage to the opposing unit and 1 damage to itself. So it does that also in addition to its attack. So you can kind of like, depending on how you wrangle it, you could do like 3 damage on a single turn, which is pretty cool. And then we went through what all the spires do, and we talked a little bit about the other 2 heroes in the stream. So that's kind of like the stuff we didn't really cover.
2 Cloudspire cloud storage questions.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Alphenkazi cloud storage magnet explode upon use?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that would be some kind of a lawsuit, probably.
Yeah, like a terrorism. Is that what that would call itself? If you are having that issue, make sure to submit a support ticket.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy to investigate. Is there space to add the hardcover books into the big storage box, or do I need to keep them separate?
There's not. And I know some people have been asking about that, but like one of the reasons why we're offering cloud storage is because we wanted to be able to offer it at like a slightly lower cost than the Trove chest, and to do that we had to make it smaller. And
it is a good rate,
I'll
say.
Yeah. We could make it smaller because we're not putting the minis in there, and there's not as much stuff for Cloudspire as there is for Too Many Bones, but it does not store those. No. I have seen people asking about a slipcase. It's on the list of ideas for further stretch goals, but I will not say that it is happening or anything like that. But I wouldn't say it's not happening. We're still considering options.
Keep doing stretch goals, everybody. Mm-hmm. That's how you.
You'll force us to do when we run out of ideas. Yeah.
Which type of approach do you use when balancing the different units with each other? Do you take an analytical and methodical approach, or do you rely more on personal preference? Man, that sneeze.
That's a really good question. It's interesting too, because I think that like I wouldn't say that we have necessarily like a uniform approach to this stuff. some of us are like way more kind of like intuitive, or like kind of like what's like pleasurable, like what is like what have we always kind of wanted to see, versus some others of us are like a lot more like, all right, well, all the Spire upgrades, or all like the source cost of the fortresses and stuff add up to this number. So we kind of like design kind of according to our own individual muses, and then when we're balancing the stuff, basically it's just like, as I said earlier in the stream, like it is like probably the hardest individual thing to not to make, but to balance, is like these factions, because you have to test them against all the other ones. And so we just kind of do like a lot of testing and be like, all right, so
especially since I imagine like removing your personal preferences is like impossible without testing it.
Yeah, I mean,
through other people's lenses.
I will say that like all three of these, like the new factions, like one of them was designed by me, one was designed by Salem, one was designed by Logan, and they definitely feel like that. Like if you have like played, if you know like who makes what here, which we all do in this office, like it's like, oh yeah, that definitely seems like a Salem thing, that definitely seems like a Logan thing, etc. Mm-hmm. And so you do have to kind of just run that stuff rigorously, because like the Keel were like really cool when we first started, but they were really, really powerful, and were like kind of like would make these things that were unkillable, and so we just kind of had to like tamp that down a little bit. But really the way you kind of do that is just kind of by like running that stuff over and over again and seeing how it works. And I think I do kind of have like the more analytical approach, I think, most of the time. And so I think Sam said on the earlier stream that like this is not like a brag, but just like that the Shada were like a little bit more keyed in, because I do kind of take this approach of, despite my, I think anyone who works here would tell me that I'm not like the most orderly person in terms of like just like how I lay out like my physical space or anything like that, but like I really do find like a lot of use in like using the spreadsheets to organize stuff, and to like thinking about like what are the different elements of this thing that I'm making, and how can I kind of tweak them up and down and stuff. And so like when I was doing the Shada, like I was trying to make them like different from the rest of the factions, but also trying to think about like how well balanced is this, how where does this fit in the kind of like the overall pantheon of stuff. And that's ultimately, you always have to do that no matter like what your initial approach is, ultimately to make it fit with the rest of them. But there's not, I would say, like a solid way that we all do things. And I think that's one of the cool things about working here, is that every person who contributes to the games here, you can kind of see like their fingerprints in terms of like, oh, okay, well, Sam designs things really thematically in this way. Logan thinks about like, how could you play the game wrong and still be fun? I think that like wrong meaning like not like with the wrong rules, but just like if you played like Static, which is the gear lock that Logan designed. Logan was kind of like, well, what if we like you didn't roll attack dice? Like that'd be kind of, what if you just played it non-intuitively, and that's like a really cool thing, So it's just a neat thing about working here, is you can kind of see how the more you look at the designs and know who made them, the more you can kind of see how their brains work. So
your question has likely been answered, but if Shannon's here, can confirm. What does not all required options in the pledge were chosen mean next to some of the items in my pledge? It even says so when I selected everything. You likely have to choose a language, is likely what's happening there. Okay. If Shannon is in this chat, likely has a better answer. But I think that is what you're running into.
And if she's not in the chat, like I'm sure if you ask that question in the comments section, she will respond to it.
Yes.
She's been doing great work over there.
Shannon said correct that she is here. But what about the question, Shannon?
No, she said correct that she's doing a great job. I think.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Let's do a whole who's on first routine.
Yeah.
Is there anything that will change in this latest printing of the game that will change from the 2.0 printing?
No. I mean, there might be like a typo or two, but I guess I would say not to my awareness. There might be some like typo things, but we're not changing balance or anything like that. So
Ryan, do you have a preferred faction?
My two favorite factions. I mean, I like mine, but like the one that I made. But my two favorite factions beyond that are the Grege and the Uprising. The Uprising, I just love like having to kind of figure out like, all right, well, I have this here. What am I going to do with it? And actually, those guys, once you know how to play Cloudspire, I think those guys actually kind of reduce analysis paralysis, because you're kind of like, well, this is what I have to work with. I guess I'll figure this out, you know. And then I just love the way the Grege upgrade, and I like their powers and stuff. So those are my two favorites, probably.
Makes sense. I've not played enough to have a favorite, I don't believe, but I liked the Heirs because I got to wave one Royal Talon unit, and that was funny. Have you guys ever tried to incorporate gameplay components from one game of yours to another as a homebrew thing, not an official?
No.
Like burn many bones, or
no.
Too many spires.
I mean, I think
spires.
Sometimes we think about like, oh, this is kind of a cool idea. Like from this game, what if we figured out? I mean, like, you know, obviously it's like it would be very simplistic to say that like that Elder Scrolls is like his combines like elements of Hoplo with elements of Bones, because it doesn't really, but like, you know, we liked the, you know, seeing like kind of the freedom of like the Hoplo mats. We liked that idea, and we liked like the, you know, but still like the skill dice kind of based thing of Bones. And so like, you know, we're always kind of like taking ideas and trying to like figure out like other ways they can be executed and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we haven't really done anything like exactly like that where we're like actually using, I guess, you know, I suppose we did, the one maybe exception to that would be like if you have the stanza Too Many Bones, or the stanza Game to Pick a Game character, where you can, I guess, use the special attack dice that come in that as stanza attack dice. But I would say, other than that, not in any kind of official capacity. No.
I was working on this. I could not tie all the games into it, but it's the Elder Spire's Burn Trail of
the second Victorum. I think like right
in an era,
right when COVID started, like I think like I just kind of like as a joke posted like my kid and I had like taken all of our components out and like put a bunch of them together as kind of like this big joke. I can't remember what we called it though, but it was something like that, like game to pick a. We had fewer games back then though, so it was easier. But it was like game to pick a Triploc Momacus or something like that, you know.
Triplocamachus.
Yeah.
Is definitely. How has that not happened already?
Yeah.
Let me see. Having this kind of been answered, but having a non-Shada related question: is all the new content of the Harbinger box usable in the skirmishes of Ankar's Plunder and the solo scenarios? You answered the solo scenarios.
Yeah, I mean it's usable in for skirmishes. Yeah, I mean you should be able to use all of it in there. I mean not like the new large tile hexes, because the skirmishes, I think most of them anyway, have their own setups. But yes, you should be able to use everything. Yeah. In terms of like a compatibility issue, yes.
Speaking of homebrew, what is your favorite homebrew for your games? Do you have one? Try to.
I don't.
I like playing our games perfectly every time.
I don't really do a lot of that kind of. This is I don't know if I should reveal like a little kind of pet peeve of mine, but like, I don't like, as someone who like works on this stuff now, but even before I started doing that, I don't really like it when people are like, oh, well, I should just do this or that. Like it's like in a way where I'll say when people ask like, oh, could I do this? Could I do that? The answer is always yes. Like we're not going to call the cops on you. Like if you want to change a rule or whatever, like that's fine. And if it makes it more fun for you, great. Mm-hmm. But I would also say though that like most of the time, if someone did something a certain way, they did it for a reason. And so as somebody who does things for reasons in the stuff that I make, like I usually am like, well, even though I don't understand exactly why this is going on, like probably the person who made this did it for a certain reason. So I really don't homebrew a lot of stuff. I would say the one thing I can really think of off the top of my head that I play, I guess there's a couple things. One is when I play Puerto Rico, I don't change the rules when I'm playing normally, but I did make up a way to play a 2-player, because back when I first got Puerto Rico, there wasn't like a officially sanctioned like 2-player way to play in like the base box. So I made up a way to play in that way. And then this is like a long ago thing. If anyone has played like Unmatched is based on a couple of different old game systems that I have, that I own both of those, like the two big games, Tannhauser and Star Wars Epic Duels, that like a lot of that stuff is based on. And in Star Wars Epic Duels, which was made, it's like a fun little game, but I would say it didn't necessarily receive like the extensive balance tweaking that like most hobbyist board games do now, because it was like a game you could buy at like Target for $20, back in 2003, because it was a tie-in to Star Wars Episode 2. The Obi-Wan Kenobi character, and that is like really, really good. And so sometimes we would house rule it that no one could pick him. That'll be about it for me, though.
I would always house rule mass traps, that you just build the trap and then see if it works. You don't actually ever play the game.
Yeah.
Mine are the biggest one I can think of for a game that I doubt anyone here has ever played is Annihilageddon 2, with the chips being able to be used to lower the price of legendary cards is too good, and then no one ever uses the chips for their likely intended purpose, which is to activate the menu. All nonsense to everyone here, I'm sure. Then the other one is Draw Polter, that game where you got to hold a bunch of stuff in your hand. House rules to just play it way shorter than it wants you to, because outstays its welcome. This is in regards to a house rule. Last live stream, Salem said they are supporting event drafting. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it should also be used on relics?
I don't. If people want to event draft, like, that's fine. As I said like earlier, I love chaos and bitterness and hatred. So when I play this game, so like I don't care if like the event like ends up like messing with your plans. Like I like having to like think on my feet and react to stuff. And I understand why people don't like that, and if they want to draft, like, that's fine. But like, sometimes when you're playing like with this game with like a lot of people in particular, but even when you're playing it by yourself or with one other person, like there are things like landmarks that can really get you. And so like, I don't mind playing with just like a normal event deck. Like I don't know if we're going to do event drafting when we play next week.
Probably try to play according to
I would say that
standard rules.
Yeah, I that's probably my vote. I'm sure Stan would vote for doing event drafting, but
I like to give Salem bad events to choose from.
Yeah, we can just
which is funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know if people want to do it with relics. That's fine. I would say though that most relics are good in most circumstances. I would say if you're going to house rule it before you did like relic drafting, I mean, what would that even mean? Like, I don't think you would really want to do relic drafting in terms of like having your opponents pick ones you didn't want, because that could really be bad for you. Yeah. So like,
and you I would say if you shouldn't get to look at 3 and pick your favorite or whatever. Like,
sometimes when we play test stuff, we remove like some of the chalice cards because those can be kind of nasty, and we're trying, and it's fine to have them in the deck, but like if we're trying, one thing we try to do often is we're testing normal outcomes in this, right? Because there are like very like non-standard outcomes that can occur, but we're trying to figure out if something feels balanced in like a normal element of play. And so sometimes we'll take out some of like the really drastic stuff when we're play testing it. But I have no issue with those things being in the game when we're not play testing.
They're funny.
Yeah, yes. I mean, if you'll see too, like a lot of the new landmark and market chips that we're adding into the game, like Salem and Logan and I all made those. But like a lot of the ones that I made are ones that I think are like personally funny, or sometimes I would for example, like there's I think it was a stretch goal. It might have been one that we just put in the box, actually, now I'm thinking about it, so maybe no one has seen it. But it's got summon hero and engage on it, so like, which is really, really funny to use when you're playing against the graft, because Nucleus is a hero, so you can just like, before a summon hero, I think we only had as a thing that you could play in like the weird kind of Portal Seekers PvP. So now that's like a thing that you can just kind of encounter, and it can really make the game strange, but in a way that I really like. So I'm all about that kind of dealing with the problems as they occur.
And we're coming up on the last question. Again, if you have any last questions, feel free to throw them in. We'll try to tackle them. If you have enjoyed this stream, make sure to give it a like. If you want to check out future streams from us or be alerted about them, make sure to subscribe to our page. We will be back on Thursday with a Keel live stream where Logan will be talking about the Keel, Bull Bats, and Salem will be playing the solo scenario. And then we'll be back the following week to punch each other in the face through ways. Keel versus Graft versus Shada. Check out the campaign. The link is in the notes of this here. Upload news when?
I think soon.
Last update was like 12, 14 days ago. It's very recent.
I don't know about that, but anyway, we haven't had one this month, certainly. So, I can't. We'll have an update about it. Like, it's been out of our hands for a while. Like, it's being manufactured and that kind of a thing. So I know JW will have Gilly will have a better beat on that than us. It's not. I work in the development and design department, and it is not being developed or designed anymore, and hasn't been for a while. So, it's a limited amount I can say about it.
Yeah, and I work in the marketing, so I tell you about it when it comes out.
Yeah,
personally. Last question. Again, bug us if you got more. Any hints about the upcoming stretch goals up to 1.5 million?
Well, it's mostly going to be chips. Mostly going to be market chips.
That's exciting.
Because we've had a lot of people asking about those, and we have some fun ideas for them. We've added some more actually since last time I looked.
We've added Noggle. No-gal, and triple threat.
Yeah, I saw someone in our Discord actually say like, well, we have one and done or one nadone, or however we say them, and we've got double triple threat, which is we had already had a character that we were getting ready to make called triple threat that we had Anthony drawing. So good guess, whoever it was who guessed that in our Discord. Yeah, triple threat is up. We got some other ones though. I know what we haven't really had any. We got the
thick health pack.
Oh yes, we've added the double thick motility chip also up at 1.3. So we've got those coming up. Is that it?
Is there going to be foursome?
There's not going to be 4 because a unit that has 4 health, 4 attack, 4 movement, and costs 4 was way too good. So we're not doing that. I think after that, I know we're going to have some more minions that have actual skills on them, but we liked the idea of like the 1, 2, 3.
It is fun.
Yeah, as we said, we have the motility chip coming. I would say we're getting close to the end of like any more 20 strong Cloudspire update or Cloudspire goals that we have, but I think if you guys keep on pledging, there's probably 1 or 2 more of those that could show, and then
force us to add more stuff to the game.
There's one thing we're kind of bandying about for 1.5, but I don't know if we'll make 1.5. Hopefully we will. And I think we still have to kind of check some feasibility stuff.
What I've heard is it's exciting.
Yeah.
So make us.
But I don't want to like reveal that before it's time because I
hate
think
to have to add it.
Yeah.
It would really suck.
if the thing we're thinking about is pretty neat. We just have to figure out the feasibility stuff, and we have to make sure that we have to see if it gets up to 1.5. I think it will, because I think that just like from an internal metric standpoint, like. You guys are really, and we talked about this before, but it's like I think we thought this would probably make like
it's well
$600,000 to $800,000, and then even once it became apparent it was going to do more than that, like I remember like on like Wednesday or Thursday of last week, Josh Carlson was telling me, I think it'll probably get to $1 million at this rate by like Tuesday, and it is Tuesday now, and it's obviously well over that. So I think it will make 100. I think it won't make 1.5, but we're still checking on feasibility stuff.
Market chip bag. When? Question marks.
I mean, we've seen that. We've seen those comments, so we're taking it into consideration.
I like it. What's the status of the new factions? Are they nearly fully fleshed out? Just need playtesting? Sorry if this was already covered.
So we ran like external playtesting on this stuff over the summer, and that's done now. So they're looking pretty good. But like Salem is like kind of the champion of like Cloudspire, both in terms of like just game knowledge and expertise, and especially on like solo balancing. So I would say that the factions are getting pretty close to being like fully locked in. We have probably a few more runs we want to do on some of them. I would say that like a couple weeks ago, the executive team was out at the World Series of Board Gaming, and so like Sam and I like kind of like bashed through a lot of playtesting then, and like internal kind of checks, and I think we probably played like 16 or 17 games of Cloudspire over that week, which was like kind of nuts. Really just kind of like mostly working on like the graft, and like because the graft is probably the hardest one of these three to balance. And but it's looking pretty good. I think we feel pretty good about all of the new chips, other than I would say these new chips we've been adding since $1 million, like those were not ones we had planned on putting in the game at all. And so we are going to be looking at those some, but I feel pretty good about most of them though. And so it's mostly, I would say, the solos that the solos have all been designed and developed and stuff. It's just kind of like being a bit rigorous with them and just making sure that like they actually play right and they're appropriately tuned. So we're working on it though. It's going quite well. We've been really trying hard to get more and more of our playtesting done beforehand, before the campaign. So we did that a lot with this one. We did it a lot with Tanglewood's this summer. Most of that was done before. Again, same as with that one. We had to add a bunch more stretch goals because you guys, we underestimated how big the campaign would get, which is a good problem to have. But that's kind of what we're trying to do. Even like we're going to do some more Elder Scrolls stuff next year, and we already have started working on that stuff and trying to get it designed, and then hopefully get a lot of it playtested like well before we have the campaign for it. So
yeah, I'm excited about that stuff.
Yep.
All right, that is all of them. 2 million stretch goal. 11th faction made of Hoplo, Too Many Bones, Burn Cycle, Roth characters.
Yes.
We'd have to fit Game to Pick a Game and Triplock character. Yeah. It'd just be the Chip Theory crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea suggested
heroes would be Josh, and Adam. Is that
right? Chelsea suggested that for 2 million we unlock a nucleus plushie. Although I would say, given the status of given how well our other plushies have sold, I would say that's not necessarily the most.
Buy the other plushies, and we might make a nucleus plushie.
Nucleus plushie would look pretty fun, though. I do
it
like
would.
that idea.
I like it. I like the idea. Would its little nuclei like come out?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty good. All right, that is all of the questions that I see. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.
Again, check us out on Thursday for Keel.
Yeah.
I want to see what they all about. Then next week, join us on Tuesday, same time, for a PvPvP. We'll be fighting all the new factions against one another. Believe we'll be doing a Q&A on that Thursday. We'll be doing something on that Thursday, same time. It's all 10:30.
Yeah.
CT.
I would say too, and maybe I might say this next week or whatever too, but like I think we've talked about this, like how blown away we are by like how well this thing is doing, and I think that like for all of us this has kind of been like a oh, you like me, you really like me, like kind of thing with this game, because I think we do like this game is just very beloved in these walls, and we knew that we had a lot of people who really liked it and were excited about it, but like it's just really cool, and like it's very special to us to like have people responding to it in this way and like really supporting it more than we thought it was going to do, and it's just really, it's very gratifying for all of us. So thank you everybody for talking about it to us and to your friends and to coming out for it. It's really, it means a lot, and it's really cool to see the love. So thanks.
And if you've ever been on the fence, there's a reason it is like the favorite game of, I'd say, most of the people in the design, as well as me before Elder Scrolls at least. I think I like Elder Scrolls more. But
yeah, I think Sam would say that now too. But
Yeah.
Cloudspire is Elder Scrolls is great. Like I love Elder Scrolls. It's a good, very good game. But I love Cloudspire. I love PvP stuff too, and that's
I
like a
know
big thing for me.
that's the one thing that I would like to plop into Elder Scrolls. I want to beat the tar out of y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm gonna walk off so that I can end the stream, but you can say goodbye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye. I'm gonna wave slowly until Andrew turns off the stream. Bye.